I believe it's called.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's 7:04, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the Pearl City Neighborhood Board meeting here at Momilani Community Center. I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules and family time to come here and listen to our board as we work a lot of Pearl City issues and working very closely with our officials and also with our emergency responders. Okay, before I get started here, a few things. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to open the list of participants and click on the raise hand icon in their name. This is for virtual people on WebEx. And when recognized by the chair, address comments to the chair. Remarks should not exceed 3 minutes. Please cancel the raise hand icon after speaking. Presentations must be kept to under 5 minutes. Please silence your cell phones. The chat box is also open to be used for any questions. Board members are required to keep their video active during the board period meeting. Note that the board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state sunshine law. Specific issues not noted on this agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. Board actions such as draft resolutions and outgoing letters will be posted for the public on our Google Drive. Okay, first off, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. We've got Cub Scout Pack 75, Cub Master Scott Osanagawa, and he's going to, his guys are going to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Can you give him a microphone?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Scott. You want to get any updates for us?
Hi, thank you, Chair Vere. Our Cub Scout season 25-26 has just started.
Please be seated.
If there are any interested families, please reach out to cubpack75@outlook.com, or you can go to bsabascout.org. We next month is September, and we are doing a citizenship month, so we'll be doing service projects, and our first service project will be at Pacheco Park, painting over the graffiti that is on the walls there. That's it. Thank you.
Scott, thank you so much. Really appreciate that community contribution as we do have graffiti all through the city, but I know the boys are going to set a really good example cleaning up the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Introduce our 11-member team. And this is our roll call vote. Roll call for today. Rodney A. Wong.
Aye.
Charmaine Duran.
Here.
Okay. Guy Stupio. Guy Noy.
Here.
Dan Smith.
Here.
Nathan Taguchi.
Here.
Michael Taylor. Tony Vasco.
Here.
Right. Myself, Larry Vere. Heidi Weber. And Ryan Yamato.
Here.
All right, we're all here, 100%. Okay, moving on to our emergency responders. We've got the Honolulu Fire Department. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Firefighter Thomas Hom with the Pearl City Fire Station. Starting off with the information previously requested about invasive grass. There are no alternate crops that can displace the current invasive, fast-burning, and growing grasses. The best defense is to ensure that there is proper fuel break and establishing a well-maintained agricultural crop. If you would like to replace invasive grasses on your property, many native Hawaiian drought-tolerant plants that are less fire-prone can be planted. You may find a list of these plants in the Hawaii Action Guide available on our website, fire.honolulu.gov. Moving on to the incident statistics for July 2025. There are 0 structure, brush, and cooking fires for July 2025. There are 2 nuisance fires and 7 activated alarms. There are also 120 medical emergencies, 2 motor vehicle collisions with a pedestrian, 9 motor vehicle crash and collisions, 1 mountain rescue, 0 ocean rescues, and 1 hazardous material incident. Okay, moving on to the fire safety tip of the month, emergency notifications and resources. Understanding how you'll be alerted during urgent emergencies and knowing where to find accurate official information is a key part of being prepared. Learn more at honolulu.gov. The alert methods include opt-in alerts. These notify individuals who have signed up to receive alerts via text, email, or app push notifications based on user preferences. Alerts are not sent based on location. Systems include HNL Alert and Honolulu and official government social media. Sign up at hnlalert.gov to receive notifications. Alerts may be shared by official city, state, and trusted partner accounts. Okay. Public alert and warning systems. These systems deliver urgent life-saving information during immediate threats to public safety. In Hawaii, this includes 1, emergency alert system, 2, wireless emergency alert, 3, outdoor warning sirens. Depending on the emergency, 1 or more of these systems may be activated. You guys have any questions for us at this time?
Okay, board members, any questions for HFD? Seeing none here. Or virtually anybody online have any questions? Okay, seeing none, but I do. Just recently in the last week, a little over a week ago, we've had multiple fires in the Newtown Gulch area where the driving range is. One of those was very close to the Hillside Terrace apartments, but the winds were running around 15 to 20 knots. But you guys were on the scene so fast and definitely saved the property. I'm really concerned because I live in Waiau. I'm also president of my homeowners association. And we were really concerned about a wildfire going up that hill, catching a few of the homes on fire. And before you know it, the entire Waiau area is out of control with fires. So one of the things I've got to do, and I just want to bring this up to the community, is I'll be working with the IA Neighborhood Board, also with our city council representatives, and also with HPD. We've got to remove the homeless out of that Gulch area. There's a fire bug in there, the one that's lighting those fires, and that person has got to be removed. So, but I just want to let you guys know, but thank you for everything you guys do. Stretch it thin, putting your lives in danger, especially with all the Kania fires. I just wish we had people that were under control, but thank you so much from all of us. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. I'll let you want to respond.
Yep, thank you guys. We'll relay those concerns up our chain of command, and we can see what options they might have to address that.
I have Aaron Okimoto on the line from Councilmember Okimoto's office.
Hi, Chair.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Actually, I put in a riser before the fire happened to get the homeless removed. They're currently on the golf course, so it's private land, and they needed permission. So from what I've heard, HUD was seeking out permission, and we're planning to get that cleared out within the next month or so.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to see action is happening. I haven't got a chance to talk to both council members yet, but we definitely got to get them moved out of there. And I think we're going to need periodic drone surveillance of that area because it is a large area you can't view them from the road. They're all hidden there. But thank you, Aaron, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Honolulu Police Department.
Hi, I'm online. This is Lieutenant Keone Hong with the Honolulu Police Department.
Welcome.
Right, going over the stats for July compared to June. Motor vehicle thefts, July there were 4, June there were 3. Burglaries, 15, and 15 in June. Thefts, 31 compared to 27. Car break-ins, 7 in July, 9 in June. Total cost for service in this area, July was 1,520 compared to June, 1,456. I know last meeting I wasn't present, but I was given some stats regarding speeding issues. So there was some speed enforcement done in the various areas that was requested, and the stats totaled 61 total citations were given. I wanted to just go over something that the Honolulu Police Department started as of yesterday, Safer Roads Together campaign. This campaign emphasizes that safety is everyone's responsibility, and HPD will engage drivers and community members in constructive ways to promote safer road behaviors rather than focusing solely on enforcement. Such actions taken will be sign waving and weekly video messages. There's also some tips. HPD encourages everyone to join the effort to make Oahu's roads safer. For drivers, buckle up every trip, every seat. Put phones down and stay alert. Slow down in neighborhoods, near schools, and in high traffic areas. Drive sober and look out for others on the roadway. For pedestrians, use crosswalks and wait for the walk signal. Make eye contact with drivers before crossing. Avoid distractions such as phones and headphones while crossing. Also, wear bright or reflective clothing at night. And for motorcyclists, always wear a helmet and protective gear. Stay visible by wearing bright clothing and using headlights even during the day. Ride defensively and watch for vehicles changing lanes, and never ride impaired, and always obey speed limits. So that's something that, because of the rise in traffic fatalities this year compared to last year, HPD is trying to take a proactive stance in working with the community to curb that. I can take any questions at this time.
Okay, board members, any questions? Go ahead there, Heidi.
Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Chair. So I just had a few places that I would like to request a little extra attention. Pearl City High School has started back to school. And one day as school was released, somebody in a low-riding black truck was doing donuts at every intersection. You can see the skid marks on the road at on Waimano Home Road where it meets Ho'oki'eki'e, and at Waimano Home Road where it meets Ma'iha Circle. And one of the residents told me they then saw that truck turn onto Como Mai from Waimano Home Road and head up towards Palisades. So I didn't go up that way to see where else the donuts were being done, but we need, especially when school is letting out, I'm not sure if it's students or if it's their drivers that are coming to get them, but there's a lot of speeding and a lot of dangerous activities that are happening at that point, and there's a lot of pedestrians on the road. And then the other place is Kamehameha and Farrington, where it splits and cars have to merge between the two. There's a lot of speeding there, and it's becoming more and more dangerous when we're going through that section of the road.
Okay, thank you. I noted it and we'll pass on the message.
Thank you.
Hey, Heidi, thank you. Okay, Charmaine, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say thank you for the enforcement in Palisades. We really appreciate it, and we know that it made a difference. Everybody was commenting how they had to slow down. They almost got caught. So thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, board members, any other questions? Okay, go ahead there, Dan.
Yes, sorry to be the broken record on this, but I really would like to learn some kind of breakdown of the 1,500 calls that you got. You know, what is the police department taking? You know, broad categories. We know you're short of officers. You know, what are these? You know, I guess routine calls. What are they about? And I would ask, is some kind of, you know, system to tally the nature of these, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 calls every month.
Yeah, a lot of them is gonna be parking complaints, maybe arguments, Some of them are crimes like thefts, car break-ins, stolen vehicles, burglaries. It's whatever you can think of. That's probably part of the 1,500. Yeah. You needed more like, I don't know. What was the question exactly? Or what were you expecting?
Well, that's a new report. I mean, it's just trying to, understand what's keeping you busy. I mean, I appreciate the break-ins, reporting on the break-ins and the serious crimes, but
Mm,
if we can, work as a community to reduce some of the low-level stuff,
yeah. Well, looking at
be
quick,
more efficient.
miscellaneous calls could be anything. Is 188. That's the most. Then parking violations are in 86. Alarm calls 51. Motor vehicle collisions 62. Other nuisance complaints 40. Then the criminal ones are less, but they're still there. So yeah, it's just various calls. Whatever you can think somebody would call the police for, that is counted.
Okay. Okay, Mike, Ryan, did you have anything? No? Okay, I know that the community, I'm going to transition to them. I know we have some community concerns for HPD. Does anybody like to come up and talk about it? Okay, go ahead there, Doc.
I got it. My question is related to, it seems that there's been a rash of break-ins east of Cuyahoga in the Manana area. I think there was like 5 or 6 of them. So people suspect it's kind of the same MO, guy going in by the Jealousies. But then, and that was kind of seemed like the majority of them were east of Cuyahoga, right? East of the school there. But then I think last Friday or Saturday, just behind me on Kalmoli, there was a break-in and there was video. I saw the video. It was posted online next door and YouTube where the guy carried out a safe. Then there's also a picture of a guy, maybe he's a scout going around looking for places, but just wanted to see. Of course, the police did come after the break-in. To see like if you guys are making any progress. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and videos as well as neighbors witnessing and giving us plates, that does help in the investigation. They also do have, like you said, the Jealousies. If there's similar entry exit type of cases and the officers are familiar with the person who maybe that's their calling card or whatnot you call it, then we try to focus our efforts toward is trying to catch that person in the act. That's the hard part, is if we don't have a witness that or an alarm that goes off while it's happening, it's hard for us to respond and catch them in the act. So it takes a while for us to process any evidence left behind that could lead to an arrest.
But in general, is there a way to, I know you guys are really busy, but maybe random patrols through it seems like the majority of these are afternoon or evening, and just even random patrols. And these people are walking around trying to find houses to break in. Maybe if we had random patrols every once in a while, that maybe that would deter these people to get out of this area. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure random patrols do help, and we do random patrols. But also, like I asked, the public's help, neighbors getting together, watching each other's, property. You guys know who belongs in the area, and calling it in right away helps police respond quickly and then hopefully catch someone in the act. But yes, we do random patrols. That is helpful. But I think what is more helpful is when people who live in the area are able to point out suspicious vehicles or suspicious people that police can respond, identify.
Understood. And we have a neighborhood watch in the area, and we're trying to increase that presence, but I just wanted to bring it up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. I was going to bring that up later. Just for everybody's knowledge, if you go on your computer and type in crimemapping.com, you can go back for the last 30 days and you could see all the crime in Pearl City area. Matter of fact, all over Oahu. It's amazing. But to let you know, in the last, because I do give the neighborhood security watch reports to my homeowners association at our board of directors meeting every month. And as I reported the other day to keep the watch, there have been 6 burglaries in the Pearl City area here. 3 in Manana, as Doc talked about, and the other 3 are up here in Momilani, just above Komamai Drive. So there's definitely a slight pattern to them. These are daytime burglaries. And as Lieutenant Kong said, it's the neighbors taking care of neighbors. It's grandma that's out in the front yard trimming the grass, and she sees that moving truck that's out in front and says, those people weren't supposed to move out, and yet everything's being pulled out of the house. You get involved. I've actually had that stuff happen in my neighborhood before. So, but community, and here's an opportunity for you to engage HPD on any speeding questions that you have, any issues. I thought we had something on Pupamoni Street.
Colette from over there. On
Identify yourself.
Colette from over there. On is Noilani and Ho'olaulea?
Yes.
Noilani goes across, right? Okay, so tell me when you're coming down, where can you get on the right, further right, and go down past Noilani? Is it right after the bus stop? Because I almost got hit twice at that intersection. So I'm coming on Noilani and I'm coming to Ho'olaulea. I'm gonna go across to continue on Noilani. And so I know that people go on the right and I can't see them. I can see the cars that are on the left that are gonna turn left onto Mauna Loa, but I can't see the cars on the right. So this past week, I went across very slowly. And then all of a sudden I saw this car just blaring down. I swear the both of us stopped so close to each other that you could put a pencil on the corners of our car. It was so close. And I was mad. I almost got out, but I saw all the traffic. So I said, oh, they're probably going to yell at me, get in the car or something, right? So I didn't, and he honked his horn at me and I looked at him like, you honking at me? But I want to know, where can they start getting in that right lane?
I'm just pulling up Google Maps and it looks like it's one lane until section. So you should be in one lane, and as you pass through the intersection, should be one car, and then you can go into either the left, straight, or the right turn lane. So you're not supposed to be next to each other prior to the intersection.
Yeah,
You know
what's
what I mean?
something, yeah, because almost every weekend too, I see ambulance, police at that intersection. And I was right there when another car hit another car because they were coming across. Somebody was turning right to go up Ho'olaulea, and the guy went across and just slammed the guy coming up. So
Yeah,
something has to
that's
be done at that intersection.
Yeah. So yeah, we could address it, and then it's called passing on the right. You're not supposed to pass on the right for somebody who's going straight. You know what I mean? So there is a law that a violation that could be enforced.
Yeah, so
That with the other the hotspots that was mentioned earlier, to
yeah.
try to address something over there and educate the public.
Okay, another one is when you're coming down Komomai here, and then you come to Ho'olaulea on Komomai, right? So I'm an avid walker and I walk every day. So I'm walking down Komomai, I get to Ho'olaulea. Sometimes I go straight across and I go to Waiau. Sometimes I turn around and come back on Komomai. And 3 times they're turning left. So when I'm waiting for my signal to cross, I'm moving around so they can see me, I'm going to cross, and they still turn. Twice, the car was close enough where I tapped it like this. That's how close the guy was to me. And I'm already halfway. So we either have to have red flashing lights or, I don't know, something, because everybody's in a rush nowadays, and even coming down Ho'olaulea at Komomai. So I drop my grandkids off. I want to turn left onto Komomai, I'm on Ho'olalea. So now I'm smart. So I wait, I come up, and sure enough, somebody can't wait. They want to go straight, but the car in the front is turning left onto Komomai to go to Waiau. And one time again, I turned left, but I was cautious, and the forerunner just came down. But I took my time because I wanted him to hit me because I was pissed already. Go ahead, hit my car,
Yeah.
you know?
One thing I
But
mentioned twice, and I just want to address it. Just be careful on the roadways.
I know,
No, I
but
know you get upset. I don't want nothing worse to happen than a
Right.
fender bender. So I just wanted to address that. But I understand your frustration. It happens at many intersections across the island. And like you said, a lot of people are very impatient and in a rush nowadays. Not like the old days. Now it's kind of nobody cares about each other, which is sad.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
that.
just be careful on the roadway. Just be careful.
Yeah. I mean, I grew
We'll
up on the main.
that
I
roadway
grew
as
up on
well.
the
That
mainland. I grew up on the mainland, but now I live here.
Mhm.
And we live on an island. When you're late, you're late. You cannot go on another freeway or another highway. You're just stuck, so.
Okay, Colette,
Yeah.
we got to move on and I got my card there. Could you please take my card? Because I want, if you can, send me an email. Send me an email because I do want to mitigate this situation. Since there's been multiple accidents there, we need to try to fix that. Okay. Okay, any other concerns?
Hi, my name is Judy. I actually have two. One is the intersection of Moanaloa and Ho'omalu, that big intersection. There's always people running the red light. Always, never fails. Every single time when I'm at that light, I see somebody running it. Maybe 1, 2, 3 people going through the red light. And my main concern being here is Pu'uponi Street. They use that street as a shortcut to go to the freeway or get off of Farrington or whatever. And it's like the cars are just speeding up the road or down the road. And I'm just trying to request a riser, like couple risers on the street to slow down the traffic. We also got tractor trailers coming on the street. We got all the work trucks coming, even city buses. And we got to slow down the traffic. Somebody's going to get hurt. And when I first moved into that street, maybe 6 years ago, there was a handicapped man that did get hit. It was a hit and run. And the good thing is he got bumped into my trash bin, where if he didn't, he probably hit his head. But, we just got to slow down the traffic. I do have my neighbors here too that's also going to, request some kind of riser or bumps or anything to slow down the traffic. Thank you.
Thank you. I added that.
Okay. Okay, noted. Okay, any other? Please come up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Rosario. So I thought I would go right after my neighbor, Judy. So I live on Pu'uponi Street. I just wanted to give a little more detail. So the speed management on Pu'uponi, we really need it. One, because I was the one that found our disabled resident hit on the road. So it's very traumatic finding him on the road. We have a lot of elderly, of course, as you know, our Pearl City neighborhood is mostly elderly people. So most of the pedestrians that are on our street are elderly and some are disabled. I actually helped one of our residents get a handy van pass because just seeing him walk on a road is so scary. So I went to one of the past meetings. I think it was with Department of Transportation. It was at Pearl Ridge Elementary, and they mentioned they were gonna do speed management. So I was just hoping and requesting for Pu'uponi, if not speed bumps, at least street lines or lines on the road that can help narrow our street to help deter people from speeding up and down our road. Sadly, just because, of course, you know where we are from Kamehameha and then going to the freeway to Moanaloa Highway. I also wanted to bring up, like what she brought up, the the intersection at Moanalua Road and Ho'omalu, I witnessed two blind residents. I'm unfamiliar with them, but I seen two blind residents crossing out the intersection. And sadly, I know the cross signs, we don't have sound. And so it was very traumatic to see one blind resident that was crossing had a dog, but was crossing where there were no lines. And the other one didn't have a service dog and was crossing actually when the light was green. So it was very traumatic to see. Also, if there is time, I also did want to bring up the commercial use of Pu'uponi Street. I don't know what the laws are with commercial vehicles using our street. I just experienced this year our cable lines going down, and Hawaiian Telecom did mention that commercial use is not supposed to be in residential because those lines aren't high enough for those commercial trucks to be going up and down. They speed, they use our street throughout the whole night, and I know they use their air brake, so it is, of course, I know, annoying for sound wise. But and then 2 weeks ago, I seen a commercial truck get stuck at the bottom of our street and now cause congestion turning onto our street up from Kamehameha. So I just wanted to bring up those topics because it is frustrating and we don't know what to do, but if something could be done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for those updates. And we do know that when there were changes, when the rail came in and they eliminated U-turns and left turns, the moving company, every time I go through there on your street, I usually see a moving company truck coming by because that's the way they come back to get onto the expressway. It's a heck of a thing. They got to go through a residential area. But you brought a lot to our attention. My heart goes out to the disabled, especially the blind. That's a very difficult situation. They should not be out on their own. There should be a sponsor to help them. That's a totally dangerous situation. We have in record that we've asked the city for the audible traffic lights for our disabled people. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, hi, Lieutenant Kong. After last month's meeting, Lieutenant Iwasaki was able to have a couple officers posted on the roads, which is great. But I also asked them about the speed signs that are towable around the neighborhood. So I think these folks, just to start off, they would benefit from one of those speed signs being put over there and letting those folks know how fast they're going. And then maybe later on, you guys want to put an officer over there. That should deter them a lot. I know you folks have used it on Ho'olaulea by the church, the Baptist church. And I've seen a couple other officers stationed. So it really makes a difference.
Thank you.
Okay. We also have Mr. Donald Sakamoto from the Kananui Neighborhood Board. He's a very good friend of mine. We collaborate a lot between our boards. He's also one of the leaders for the disabled for Hawaii. Donald, you got anything to say?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Donald Sakamoto for the record. Yeah, as a blind individual, we need audible signals for the crosswalks. It's very dangerous for people like myself who are blind. Lieutenant, I've been still experiencing high-speed sports motorcycles coming from the Halawa Pro City, going to the windward side. I call 911 every time, late evening and early mornings. Still getting problems. Can District 3 check what's going on their side so they don't come my side? I would really appreciate what you can do. Yeah.
H3, you said, sir.
Yeah, it's very noisy when they come through Haiku Valley, Kaikili Highway from the Orano towns, and then come towards Kaneohe by the exit 11 on Kamehameha Highway, and then go back towards your side and continue back towards I think it's Diagnostic Labs over there, and they turn around and come right back again. So, yeah.
Okay.
Frustrating. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Donald. And in regard to what Donald said, with the excessive speeding and racing that's going on in the H1, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day now. I live close by the expressway, and it wakes up my entire neighborhood. Now it's happening throughout the whole week, 2:30 in the morning, just blasting through, backfiring exhausts. It's totally out of control. And even when we're racetrack, if they do get it in, it's not going to change. So we've got to find a solution to this down the road. Other than that, any board members, any other questions? Yes, please come on up for residents.
My name is Jim. I live in Pool Pony Street also. I've been there for over 30 years. My house is hit twice at that corner where Pool Pony meets Po'olelea. They took out my garage and 4 cars. And the guy hit and ran, backed up, drove down the street and got away. By the time I got in front of the house, my neighbor's house was hit at least once or twice. And they took out his fence. And we live right in the corner. Now, I drove home one night, going down the street, blinker on, slow down, turn in my driveway. A car screeched behind me, went around me on the sidewalk to go around, bending me. No one stops in the corner. They just speed as fast as you can go. If you put a pump or some type of device there, it would have to be at the crosswalk. You do it any place, it doesn't help me or the people up the street. But it doesn't help the people down the street. You have to do something down there too. So you probably need 3 devices to help this street. It's constant traffic all day long, all night long. And I hear those boom boxes going at 2 a.m. as loud as possible. My windows vibrate. So I'm not sure what they can do about this. I hate to see an officer station on my street because that's wasted resources. That's time and money wasted from patrolling burglaries. So I'd like to see something more physical done that's on the ground permanent or whatever the case may be that can do the job.
Thank you for your testimony. Very important. I'm sorry to hear that you had a lot of personal private damage. And as usual, a hit and run driver gets away, and there needs to be some really tough penalties as far as hit and runs. Too much of this goes on every day, every week.
Yeah, I can't catch them at 2 o'clock in the morning when they hit my cars.
Yeah.
And the garage.
Well, we're on it. We heard a lot tonight. With the Pearl City Neighborhood Board, we'll take some action. What we can do, we work with our officials, especially with the HPD, the city council. Thank you very much. Okay. We got one more here and then we got to move on. Okay, Vice Chair.
As we're preparing our priorities, could a board member, maybe public safety or transportation, remember to put forward these items since traffic calming can take a while to put forward?
Yeah, when it comes to city putting up speed bumps or humps, it takes a lot longer than what the state does to get them in. But this is where it starts. You know, we state our requirement and we go to the city asking for it. Who else has got? Tara Sutton.
Thank you. My name is Tara Sutton, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement for the Red Hill Registry, which is an independent health registry to track health outcomes from people who experienced the 2021 water crisis. I just wanted to let everybody know that the registry is open and fully launched and available for enrollment for anybody who felt like they were experienced that water contamination and any health impacts, whether there's minimal or quite a bit. So that's at redhillregistry.org. And I just wanted to make that resource known again here to the community.
Okay, well, thank you for that comment and thank you for the reminder. And I'll have to register because I drank a lot of the Navy Exchange food court water. And I was wondering why why I never finished my root beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got to move on a little bit behind schedule, but all important community concerns and also from our board of directors. We have a presentation from the update on the Pearl City storage project on 1080 Koala Street, and we're anxiously waiting for that development. And we have Auvergne Sheik. Are you online?
Yes, Auvergne Sheik Group.
Welcome.
Oh, are you presenting or I'm presenting? Sorry.
I'm presenting. I'm just trying to make sure.
Okay. Hey, Greg Serrano, welcome.
All right, can you hear me okay?
We got you loud and clear.
All right.
Just turn
So
our
are
lights down.
you sharing the screen or am I?
Okay, he's going to share the screen with you.
Sorry, I'm dealing with technical difficulties.
For board members,
My
our vice chair has been tracking this to future development.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes. So 1080 Koala, thank you very much for allowing me to present for our overall project update here. As you can see, we are the property / parking lot directly across from the Pearl Highland Shopping Center, outlined in red. We can go to the next slide. We received special district major approval from the TOD district in January of 2025. As part of our community benefits, we were offering 0.6 acres, so more than a half acre of community benefits. Those include a dog park, which is that large green area to the left of what you see as a parking stall. Behind that is a community garden. There's a walking path that goes down that entire corridor and connects Koala to Acacia. And then at the front of Koala is a large public plaza that has numerous bicycle parking stalls and a commercial space. To the right is the existing conditions of the site, as you all know. Next slide, please. Now, we've been working very in depth with our architects and consultants. We've filed permits. We're very far into the process. To the left is a 3D rendering of our building permits and what the plan currently is. It's very accurate on the massing of the facility. I will say that our consultant tried their best, but I believe that once the facility is complete, the facility will look much nicer and have better depth color-wise than what is shown here. But what this plan does show is really what the community benefits are going to be here. The front plaza at that area along Koala, which is right at the intersection coming down, is very nice, has numerous bicycle parking stalls. You see on that left side, that entire corridor will be completely cleaned up. You'll have that dog park in the front area with a community garden on the back and that walking path going down. We're going to use the existing curb cut as that's a very busy intersection coming down Koala, and we are aware of that. We're not trying to shift it up at all. We want to use the existing one that is there, and we create very low traffic counts. So we've done all the traffic studies. This seems to work best. It's going to be a right in, right out only. We're not proposing any left turns coming into the facility. And then on the right side, you can see existing conditions. And that's going to be kind of the trend over the next 3 slides. We can go to slide number 4. So now we're just looking at, a ground level view from both Koala Street, the existing access point, and or, leaving the Pearl City Highlands Shopping Center. This is what the facility will look like versus what is currently there, which is a chain link fence that's semi-overgrown. There should be no cars on the property as we are the new owners of it. We're trying to keep it clean cut, but we're hoping to eventually get there and delivering this fantastic product. We can go to the next slide. Now we're looking at the facility from the intersection of Koala and Acacia, and I don't need to tell you, it's a very busy intersection. We understand that this is really the last undeveloped corner of that intersection, and we think that, we're really filling it out in a great way and continuing the growth of the area for a currently underutilized parcel. And then the last 3D rendering view is on Acacia if you were traveling southeast, so towards the Acacia-Koala intersection. One note here, there will not be a sidewalk along all of Acacia. We have worked with DPP, we've tried, that is all right of way. We don't actually own up to the street there. And it is a sheer drop off, as some of you may be aware, on a grade change level. And we can't comply with the complete street standards, but we will improve that entire corridor with new street trees, plantings, garden boxes best we can. But overall, this is a really good representation of the massing of the facility and kind of what you can expect for this area. And we've worked very closely with DPP on kind of revising our plans and elevations to make sure it's in line with their expectations for the transit-oriented development districts. Now, our plans were approved with a condition of all of the community benefits that I previously discussed of dog park, community garden beds, public plaza, bicycle parking, commercial space, and a connectivity stairwell that connects Koala to Acacia. We fully designed and engineered this stairwell, as you can see in the circle kind of blown up on the right. Unfortunately, when we went to file our permits with CEB, or the Civil Engineering Branch, they informed us that we were not allowed to put any stairwells in the right-of-way. And to make this really clear for everyone, the right-of-way is the area outlined in orange. That is not our property. That is state of Hawaii right-of-way. They just don't allow stairwells in the right-of-way. So we were asked to revise our plans and come up with alternative ways we can make this connectivity path occur without having any stairways, as it could be a potential liability. So if we go to the next slide, we prepared two different alternatives that we thought were, doable, and we presented to CEB and the planners. The first, which is on the left, is we proposed fully grading and/or, making a hill a flat area, connecting all the way to our property line, and then at the property line, all the stairs would be on the existing property to, eliminate any concerns of stairs being in the right of way. The second one was a switchback ramp. So a flat surface spanning a very long distance back and forth going up to achieve the same level of grade change. Just so everyone's aware, it's about 25 feet from the base of where we're starting to the top of the right-of-way or Acacia Road in that back area. Both of these proposed connectivity paths were deemed insufficient, and CEB believed that there was still risk due to us building in the right-of-way, and they just weren't in favor of any structure in the right-of-way. If we go to the next slide, please. That made our team, consisting of RM Tao, Bryce Uhara, really put our heads together and say, okay, how can we make a connectivity path occur completely on our property and make it better than what we already proposed? One thing we were concerned about with the path going from the rear of our facility up Acacia was there was a little park back there. That park is very tucked away at the tip of the facility. And, it could cause loitering. It could cause people to, trash it. We're not aware and we don't have eyes there at all times. So we thought, how can we make this happen in a much more present area that would also serve the community better? Our alternative was, let's focus on the front plaza, as it's a focal point already, but currently it's a one-way in, one-way out. So we really honed in on this front area to make this commercial space even better. We can go to the next slide. So on the right side, you'll see a conceptual plan. Since this presentation has been made, our engineers have fine-tuned this in their AutoCADs and 3D renderings and things of that nature for submission to the planners. It has been signed off by CEB, or the Civil Engineering Branch, as they have no issue with what we're proposing here. Essentially, we're saying, let's make the front plaza have more clear flow from the crosswalk of Acacia and Koala if you're coming down through the plaza to the commercial space and the community bicycle parking out the facility. Before it was kind of a one way in, one way out plaza. Now it'll flow from the crosswalk down and through. We think this is a great alternative. There will be benches along this kind of stairwell. As you can see, it's kind of two-tiered. It comes down some, then there's a flat area, and then it comes down another set. CEB had zero issues with this, as all these stairs are on our property. The planners are still reviewing, but we think this is a fantastic alternative that meets both our requirements, serves the community, and makes the civil engineering branch happy for what we're proposing here. And then the next slide is really just going to show kind of these two plans overlapped. So you can really see how they fit together overall. I apologize, this is rough, as these were hand-drawn sketches that I was blending together, but I just wanted to make sure you can fully understand kind of how these fit together, from hand-drawn conceptuals to as we're fine-tuning and presenting to the planners. And then if we go to the next slide, I really just wanted to highlight kind of where this path is and where it ends. So on the left, you'll see that same path kind of shown. The top portion of the rendering is essentially right next to our commercial space. You'll have a stairwell going up that corner. So it'll be very natural to go up, and then you'll come out right on the intersection above the crosswalk. We think it just will be an extremely natural flow of foot traffic through that area versus at the tip of Acacia coming down Koala, which we just couldn't overcome. But overall, we're very excited. We're currently in for building permits. We're expecting to start grading the site in November of this year, which is amazing. I appreciate you all for being very patient with us as we've worked through this. So I will be reaching out closer to that date. Mid-November, we are going to have a blessing, as we want to have that before we start really working on the site. And then in January of 2026, we are expecting to start laying foundations and going vertical. And that's really all I have. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Serrano. Vice Chair, you got any questions?
Thank you for presentation and for communicating with our board pretty regularly. Could you just very quickly, just for the purposes of the record, just 1, 2, 3, what the community benefits are, so that it's clear? So, because we have some new members on the board, so that they understand what the community benefits are. And I know I've already mentioned this, and I hope that in the final version, maybe chain link fence, if the fencing might have more of a aesthetic to it, because we do have a lot of chain link fence in Pro City. But if you could just really briefly just go 1, 2, 3, so we know what the benefits are.
Yes, absolutely. And if you need, I can put a note on record if I can pull up my approvals of the exact square footage. But they are a community dog park, which is exceeding 3,000 square feet. I can give the exact square footage if needed. A community garden behind the dog park, a walking path that goes down the facility, connecting the community dog park and the community garden. At the front of the facility is a public plaza with, I believe, in excess of 50 community bicycle parking stalls open to the public, and a commercial ground floor retail, as TOD likes, and a connection from Koala to Acacia that, allows the flow of traffic to be much more smooth. Those are the main community benefits here, and also cleaning up the site, keeping the maintenance and the vegetation in a good space, and developing something that I hope is better than the current parking lot.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Okay, board members, any questions? Go ahead, Guy.
Hey, Greg, sorry to bother you. So, did I hear correctly? You're going to have public parking?
Public bicycle parking. So we have currently, I think it's 18 car parking stalls. Of those, 2 will be rentable, like zip cars, in the facility. Of that, we really need to hold on to the other 15, as self-storage, sometimes people are in the facility, hopefully for only 25 minutes, but if they're moving a lot of things in and out, we can't control that. And it's really Saturdays and Sundays. But of that, we do have 2 designated loading stalls for regular moving and 1 large loading stall for U-Hauls. So, but we can't completely designate the entire thing as public parking. Pearl Highlands has, I think, exceptional amounts of public parking, but we do have ample public bicycle parking if you ever need to put a bicycle somewhere to walk down to the train station and go into Honolulu.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate the one way in, one way out, because boy, people don't know how to make left turns. Thank you.
Okay, Rodney?
Of course.
Yes. What is the security going to be like on this property? Are you going to have like security guards or people looking out and seeing what's going on along the property lines?
So yes, I'm going to kind of address that in 2 areas. So, the majority of self-storage facilities have a gate where you can lease a unit, and then once you lease a unit, you go in through a gate, and then you can park there and unload things. We're in an area where we don't think a gate really makes sense. It just would be, I think, more detrimental. So we're not going to have a gate. But what we will have is 24/7 community or computer monitors throughout the facility. If you scan in and you have a unit, you're on camera from the second you get into the facility with your code to get to your unit, unload your things to the point where you're getting out of the unit. And the reason of that is really we don't want people storing small engines, aka generators, weed whackers, things of that nature, things that are flammable. And the second part is we don't want anyone living in the facility. Anytime someone enters a self-storage facility more than 3 times a week, if they're not a lawnscape company, they may be living in the unit. And our managers are Extra Space. They have numerous facilities on the island. They uphold the highest standards of security and management, that they flag anyone that's entering and exiting too many times or too frequently to check their unit, because you can't live in a unit. It's not allowed, period. It's to store household goods. And then for the outside of the facility, we are having Extra Space and also security teams work along with landscape teams to manage the property, make sure there's no loitering, and also make sure these public and community benefits are clear at the end of each night. The last thing we want to do is be a nuisance to the community with these new proposed spaces.
Okay, thank you. Residents, any questions? Come on up to the microphone, please. Identify yourself.
I'm Tim again. Question regarding your public garden and dog space. Now, I know the area. There's not a lot of parking around there. I'm pretty sure the other mall in front of me, parking my car there, dragging my dog across the street, and use your dog park. If I front, especially, now if I was to do gardening, I'd drag my dog, plants, dirt, whatever I need to your garden area. That's probably not going to happen because it's too far away. Now, are you going to provide, if you don't provide any parking, I'm supposed to use, if I can't park next to unload my soil, my plants, etc. Or I want to take my dog there, but I got to park in the mall, walk across the street, hope I don't get run over, and then get on the other side of the street and use the dog park. That doesn't address all the concerns. It just kind of, yeah, I have it there, you got to get to it. That doesn't really work for me. It's kind of like putting the onus on the city or the people in the community to get to the place to use your facility for free.
No,
Doesn't
that's it.
that doesn't
That's it.
really help me, because if one of my neighbors walk there with a dog, gets smacked by a car, how does it help me? How does it help the neighborhood? The other question I have is, during construction, how are you going to manage traffic flow? That is, like you said, is a major intersection. You're going to block up the street during morning time to noon, and that's a busy intersection. You're going to block it up on the weekends, nighttime. What's the plan? And if you do have a lot of stuff coming in, do you guys are designated loading area area, as it's called? And do you guys have like cameras to watch over the public spaces? No, I did hear the question about you have security there. Yes, you said you had security, but you never said you had a body there. Does it have a body on site all the time?
No, these are all great questions. I'm going to answer them in kind of waves, if you're okay with that. So first, absolutely understand. Part of the community garden is we are offering, I think it's 300 to 400 square feet, which is essentially 2 units to the community. So pots, soil, shovels, anything that you bring to the site that is being used in the community garden can be stored there, as hopefully it's not overflowing. So you're not bringing your shovel in and out every single time. So that's kind of the first thing. There will be on site, we're doing a stormwater management system with a faucet that water will be there. You're not bringing your own water to water the garden beds. It'll be a spigot right next to the community garden beds with a hose so you can access those areas. So those are the 2 first things. Regarding parking, the entire point of a transit-oriented development is to minimize the amount of traffic and cars, like vehicles in total. So parking limits are actually completely eliminated in transit-oriented developments. About
Okay, we just lost
3x
him.
the required amount of parking. Can you hear me? Sorry.
It's okay. We got to get going. We're way behind schedule right now.
So that's the parking aspect. The dog park is really for people that are, if you're training in Honolulu and you have your dog, you can stop here. Your dog can go to the bathroom, run around, of that nature, and serve in that way. And then I think security wise, we will not have someone living on site. We do not have an ensuite or an apartment, but we will have someone there 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's per standards with cameras running.
Okay, Crick, you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Thank you. So Heidi Weaver on the board. I just had a couple of questions as well. You said right turn only into and exiting the facility. However, once you make a right turn out of that facility, unless you pull into another parking lot, you are forced to get onto the freeway almost. So there's no good plan for making that right turn if you're coming from Upper Pearl City and needing to return to your home after storing your items. The second part was the no sidewalk on Acacia. Again, transit-oriented development typically does include sidewalks since we're going to be walking or biking there. So I'm not sure if that is a city decision not to have that sidewalk or if that is something the company is doing based on the square footage of the construction, the building that you're adding. But I think that a sidewalk is necessary because it is transit-oriented development. And then my final question is about the commercial space. Parking for that again, if there's no parking for the garden or the dog park, there's no parking for the commercial space either. And what kind of businesses are you expecting to have in there? Is it restaurants or office type businesses?
Great questions. So first aspect, what was the first part? Just so I hit it. It was
right turn. The right turn.
the right turn. Yes, I'm fully aware that if you take a right turn out of the facility, you are getting on the freeway. We tried very hard to make it a left turn. It's if you come down that intersection, it's very busy and fast. Banks have not been approved plans there because they created too much traffic in and out. Numerous other multifamily also wasn't approved there. We create very little traffic, but ultimately having a left turn out of the facility was just not doable. Like we really wanted it. It was ultimately a traffic review board just told us it has to be a right turn in, right turn out. I get it. You're going to end up on the freeway, and that does create some difficulties exiting the facility. Regarding the commercial space, it is going to be an accessory use. Current discussions, we have so many bicycle parking stalls. Is it a bicycle repair shop, or is it a FedEx or UPS store? Something hopefully that is, complementary to a self-storage facility. So if you are shipping things a lot, it's right there. It's easy to get to. That's kind of our end goal. We have not identified a user yet, as we'll do that once we're under construction, at least the space. And the parking in the area is allowed to be used for the garden and the dog park. It's not advertised as public parking in the instance of you can park here and then hop on the train to go to Honolulu and come back 12 hours later. But if you're using the things on site, totally acceptable. We need 8 parking spots. I believe we're presenting 18 plus 2 rideshare spots. But we're just not trying to have people leave their car there for 12 hours at a time. If they're on site using community benefits, we're totally okay with that.
Okay, Greg, we gotta terminate this now. Thank you for the
Okay.
updates. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the facility. We don't have enough self-storage in Pearl City for all the townhomes that we have that are very small. But thank you so much for the presentation. Board members, if you got other dialogue, work through the vice chair, and we'll keep going on this because Charmaine is actually tracking this project. We have to move on. I apologize. We're about 30 minutes behind right now. Board members, there are no objections. I'm going to defer our recognition of board members and approval of committee members. That'll buy some time here so we can try to leave on time. But plus, we've got a lot of residents today, so we can get on to real board business here. So Vice Chair, could you please present the resolution for the city to explore revitalizing Mananakai Park as an urban open space park, please?
Chair, I'm gonna motion to defer those. The Mananakai.
Can I get a motion to defer the recognition and also the approval of the committee members? Oh, you did? Okay, sorry. Okay, I have a second?
Second.
Okay. There are no objections? Okay, motion passed. Okay,
Chair,
so,
Chair,
go ahead.
before you move on, did you want to call up Steve Russo to give an PSA about feral chickens? He's been waiting.
Oh, I'm sorry, he was supposed to comment during
Yeah, I know. We just got so in depth.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna bring Steve up because it is a very important issue. I don't think there's any resident doesn't have a problem with feral chickens and also kitties. Okay, come on up, Steve, go ahead and give us your 3 minutes.
Oh, all right, sir. Thank you very much, Chair and Charmaine, for inviting me. So just so the community's aware, I manage Sandwich Isle Pest Solutions. We're a locally managed pest control company, and one of the things that we do is feral chicken management. In fact, all feral wildlife management in Hawaii. We did receive a contract with the city and county to provide chicken control services, and there's 3 aspects to that available to the community. One is you can either contact us or the Department of Consumer Affairs to identify a publicly owned spot where there is a lot of chicken activity. We then investigate it and determine whether or not we can do trapping there. If trapping is possible in that space, we then do it, and that is billed directly to the city as part of that contract. It is a small program. It was a pilot program. There's only about $50,000 for the year for the entire island of Oahu. So what that kind of boils down to is about 4 different trapping sites per week in public places. So think like parks, rights of way, things like that. It's not really appropriate to say like, hey, I saw chickens walking down the street. It's just not realistically that we could go and trap them there. The second aspect of it is there is a fixed price schedule that they developed with us. So the price hasn't changed for 3 years now. there's two options there. One is a full service trapping where our specialist comes, sets up traps on your property, manages the trap on a daily basis, food, water, removes any chickens, and that's $375 a week, all inclusive. Unfortunately, that it's all the city did was set the price, so they didn't have any funds to subsidize that at any point currently. And then that would be the responsibility of the property owner. So if you're like looking at your neighbor and you're saying, hey, my neighbor's got a bunch of chickens and your neighbor doesn't want to deal with it, I can't force them to accept that. And then the other option is kind of more of a DIY option. There's a trap rental. You can rent the traps for $50 a week. We show you how to set it up. We show you how to easily remove the chickens from the trap. And then you can bring the chickens down to our office where we euthanize them for you. The trap rental is $50 a week, and the euthanization is $25 per chicken. And then we're always open to working with people in situations. For example, we had someone with an extremely large flock on their property, so we kind of worked with them on the pricing of that, so it was more affordable to them. So that program runs through next September. That's pretty much it. So it is a trapping program, meaning there is a trap. It's roughly the size of a small suitcase that has to sit out. Good sites would include places where there's some sort of shade or coverage. Chickens typically don't get in the traps if they're very much in direct sunlight because it's hot, right? But the traps, so we try to push the traps off to the side to where they're a little bit more concealed. One of the things I would really strongly recommend you to do is advise people not to feed chickens or other birds out in public or even on their own property. Trapping programs are great. Direct control like that is great. However, if you continuously feed them, you will continuously have a problem. And so just addressing that with people is pretty important.
Hey, can you summarize, please?
Yeah, there's a city and county trapping program. There's three options. One option is public places, one option is trap rental, and one option is full service that we provide.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve, for giving us the update as this program is available. I know it's difficult for people to have to pay to have chickens to be removed on their yards, but I really think we need to start looking for some other creative options and the other ways to keep you guys employed going after chickens, but maybe having a program where it's free. And actually there's a payback for our young teenagers that like to catch chickens on Saturday, and they get a refund fee just like cans of bottles. That program would work 100%. So, but anyway, thank you much. Board members, any questions for Steve? Okay, seeing none. Community?
Thank
Seeing
you.
none, we're going to move on. Thank you. Okay, Vice Chair, ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, your resolution.
Okay. This resolution requests the state and city initiate collaborative transportation planning for all Pearl City schools. This resolution suggests that the Pearl City continues to face challenges with congestion, speeding, and public safety risks surrounding and adjacent to schools. Whereas in efforts to address these persistent issues, the Pearl City Neighborhood Board has since 2019 adopted 7 resolutions and identified 25 priority projects and extensively discussed student safety and congestion and speeding in 20 of its monthly meetings. This resolution acknowledges the great work of its legislative team and requests the city and state collaborate together on finding solutions for Pearl City hot zones for each of our schools. Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none? Okay. All in favor, roll call vote. Go ahead, Anson.
Okay, when I say your name, please say yes or abstain. Taylor?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yuan? Okay. Doran?
Aye.
Okay. Inouye?
Yes.
Duapio?
Yes.
Okay. Weber?
Yes.
Okay. Yamamoto? Yamato, sorry.
Yes.
Smith? Takeuchi?
Yes.
Velasco?
Yes.
And Vuri?
Yes.
Okay, the resolution is adopted.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Vice Chair. Next one, resolution requesting the state and city initiated collaborative transportation planning for all Pearl City schools.
No, we did that one.
Yeah. We did, okay. Okay, I thought we had that. Okay. Did I miss something here?
Yeah, we're gonna, I'm gonna move to
Revive.
defer.
No, you want to defer this one?
Yep, until next month.
Yeah, we'll defer it to next month. That'll be revitalizing Mononikai Park, right?
We did that one. We are now at E.
Okay, I'm tracking. Okay, can we,
Would
can
you
we
like
bring up the
me-
legislative priorities?
Hold on. So, would you like me to make a motion to defer the legislative priorities until next month so that everybody can produce their new priorities or additions?
Yes, let's defer it to next month.
Okay. So I've moved that. I need a second.
Do you have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none? Okay, if I don't, everybody, if there are no objections, we'll go ahead and defer it. Seeing none. Okay, the Pearl City letter to City Department of Planning and Permitting and Department of Health. Can you talk about this one?
You want me to?
Yeah, why don't you give an update on that? Yeah, when you recommended way ahead.
Okay. This letter is, so I'm going to make a motion that we send a letter to DPP expressing our concerns about an illegal care home, and that this, and we've already filed a complaint with DOH, but this is a part of a larger pattern of behavior. And so it might be useful for us to put our ongoing problems back in 2019 and again this year so that DPP is aware. So I move that we send a letter to DPP to that effect.
Okay, do I have a second?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and any discussion? Seeing none? Okay, if there are no objections, we'll go ahead and send that letter to DPP. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up. Okay, so that one, we're gonna go ahead and send a letter. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, the next item on our agenda is an update on the resident request to eliminate parking on the Macau side of Kumano Street. Okay, and before we act on this right here, Mr. Brummer, you wanted to say something, and I think you gave us a slide to present, to talk. We'll put it up.
Okay. Wait till he gets up there. So I prepared a quick 3 minutes of dialogue on this. So I'll go ahead and start speaking since we're limited in time. So my proposal is to make the street next to my home, Kumoana, no parking on one side of the street. The street is normally full of cars, and designating one side no parking would allow continual access for emergency firefighting and large vehicles. This is not about me wanting to keep this only for myself, but it's to allow clear, unfettered access in emergencies. Couple of examples. Recently, the street that I live on, which is perpendicular to Kumoana, that is Kavaloka. We had 2 water main breaks in consecutive days. This required them closing Kavaloka and rerouting the bus through Kumoana. Because there were so many cars, they ended up having to remove some of those cars to allow the bus to route through that street. Another issue was recently, within about a year and a half ago, this is just an example of what could happen. There was a situation where SWAT was called in. They had to take the guy out with a sniper. He tried to set a house on fire, emergency vehicles all over. If something like that would have happened in my area, it probably would have been impossible to make it through that street. People are casually parking their large vehicles and even horse trailers on the street. And even if you report that to the police, they move them, then return them once things have cooled down. Roads are fundamentally for vehicle traffic, not for free parking spaces. If we keep indulging these people who park and leave their cars indefinitely, everyone will start doing the same. Calling the police every time will lead to unnecessary conflicts. In my friend's neighborhood, they had a similar situation where they made one side of the road no parking, and this improved the traffic flow, and now there are no issues or concerns about emergency vehicles. As parked and semi-abandoned vehicles increase, we also have problems with cigarette butts, fast food wrappers, empty bottles, beer cans, and we even had an animal's corpse thrown on the side of the street. Restoring order starts with small, steady steps. We all need improvements for the sake of our community. We can start with improving the things closest to us from the small things. That wouldn't, then we can lead into bigger improvements. This is not a neighbor issue. What I'm trying to do is prevent a neighbor issue. Rather than calling the police every time there's a car blocking the street or parking there long term, if it's designated no parking, we can alleviate the need for me to report them, and that alleviates any acrimony between the neighbors. If a fire breaks out, I can't escape quickly. As you can see, I am disabled, and I'm not like able-bodied people. However, even with a disability, I still want to protect my family. That's why just making one side of Kualana no parking would easily solve several issues. It will allow continual emergency access while preventing routine parking lot that blocks the street. Everyone has issues in Pearl City, and I understand that, but rather than do nothing, I think this would be a start solving this local issue. So I'm asking the neighborhood board at least vote on this issue to forward it to the next level. At our last, and there's just a couple more words, at the last meeting, we said that we would vote after waiting a month because of the sunshine law. And then just one more thing, I did speak to the senior fireman that was here a few minutes ago. And as soon as I brought up the level of blockage, he immediately knew where I was talking about. He's familiar with that area because of, it's continually blocked up with so many cars. That's, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. Director Abano, do you have anything on this issue? And welcome. And thank you, Mr. Bremer.
Good evening, everyone. Gino Albano, Director of the Department of Facility Maintenance. Mr. Bremer, I do have a response from DTS. It may not be favorable to what you just testified, but I am just simply responding to what was asked last month. Kumoana Street is a typical 28-foot wide residential roadway between Kaumoli and Kaveloka Streets. The 28-foot width allows vehicles to park on both sides of the street while still providing a 10-foot through lane, which is sufficient for emergency vehicles and handy vans to traverse the area. DTS 3-year review of the area's traffic collision history did not find any incidents in the area. As such, the DTS does not recommend establishing a parking restriction at this time.
That included like horse trailer? You're saying that the next.
Yeah, so if there's further discussion that is required, I will try to get DTS to come and speak more about this situation.
Okay, Director Abano, thank you for the information. Also, Vice Chair.
Chair, I understand the response, and I thought that we had requested, and I really appreciate the director following up so quickly on it. But I think there's probably other ways that we can still address this situation. And so maybe we can get together with the resident and figure out how we can help. Just because the city is not prepared to move forward doesn't mean that we can't, there isn't another solution.
Yeah, I got that. So Director Urbano, one of the issues, because we do have a disabled resident, he frequently has vehicles parked within the 30 feet of the stop sign. Is there a way that we can add a sign as a reminder to the residents in that area that cannot park in that because that's the place where the handy van to pick him up?
Yeah, I would recommend we make as much of a case to provide additional signage for Mr. Burmer and have a follow-up discussion with DTS.
And that way we come to a compromise, we help him. And at the same time, the only thing that we didn't have out of this is a petition from anybody. It's just from one sole individual.
I would say many of your DTS concerns have been listened to as I report this evening. And I would say they have responded in the affirmative for a few. So I think if the board is persistent as well as residents are persistent with the requests to DTS, maybe perhaps their ear will be much more attentive to your concern.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, go ahead there, Dan.
Yes, I think the compromise you were suggesting could work. In other words, maybe restrict some of the parking so you have a pull-out area so people could pass. I did by accident area, so I took a look and yeah, I think restricting parking somewhere, say in the middle, would allow vehicles to pull out so they could get through there.
Yeah, so I would suggest we continue to request DTS to respond to this request.
Hey, Gene.
Hey, how's it?
So what is the distance from the corner back, the parking distance? What is the
I'm
footage?
not a expert on the code on that, so I would have to defer to DTS at this time.
Yeah, because
But I would
mean,
think it would at least be one length of a vehicle
right
to allow proper clearance from a stop sign.
from the corner to
From the
the
corner.
to the front of the car, because I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I go through this every day at my mom's house in Aliamano, and they park
Aliumano is
right around the corner.
Aliumano is crazy. about
It's a different cat over there. But,
I know the area well.
to help him out, to help Doc out, if there was a sign that said no parking from here to corner, then at least they would know that they got to leave that much space. 30 feet.
It's 30 feet. It's almost 3 cars.
Appreciate it.
That's at least 2.5 cars. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Director.
Your voice has been listened to, and we will continue to see what can be done. Further resolutions, yes. Meeting, I would suggest to contact Director Morton, Deputy Director Nouchi to see if additional dialogue.
So you recommend the board send a letter?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep you in the loop. Okay, so the director has recommended that we draft a letter from the board to come up with a request to improve this situation and maybe give them some options that we're requesting instead of just one, give them the options.
This sounds like a very unique situation. That's why. And I think if DTS understands the situation a little bit better, perhaps they will move on this more quickly.
Yeah, and Director, before we finalize the letter, I'll send you the draft so you can look at it and
Sure.
make sure it makes sense in city request talk.
Thank you.
Okay, so can I get a motion to the board to send a letter out on behalf of Mr.
Chair.
Brummer's, yes?
Would
Go
you
ahead.
be able just to send the letter as the chair?
Yeah, I could do that too.
Based on our agenda item, that would be, since we
Okay.
might discuss this in the
I will, if there's no objections, I will send a letter on from behalf of the chair and also honor the sunshine law. Okay, thank you, Ms. Brummer. Okay, moving on. Vice Chair, in regard to. Oh, Aaron, did you have a question?
I'll be brief. I haven't got an update from DTS, but last month after we heard the gentleman speak, I also requested that either one side of the street, both sides of the street, or a portion of the street, as well as no parking from a certain time to a certain time. So our office is also trying to handle this as well. Just to give you a little input on that.
Okay, Aaron, I'll have you in on this little draft letter as I put it together.
That'll be fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Vice Chair, in regard to our next letter of support, renaming the Pearl City District Park Pool after our honor, Ken Suinaga. You want to talk about that?
Actually, I'll move to approve of sending a letter in support of the council resolution, but I think Aaron's probably the one to speak on this. He's worked on this and has really done a really good job. So I'll move to approve of sending a letter in support of the council resolution.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, and for just short discussion, would any of you like to come up and just say a few words on it? Because all of you waited this so long, at least want to give you an opportunity to, because we're on Olelo too. Everybody's going to be watching this thing and
Hi.
let them know the importance.
Hi, Colin Kanemoto. I'm reading this testimony from someone who couldn't be here. Aloha, my name is Ko Ohata. I'm a resident of Pro City. I had the privilege of being part of the Pro City Aquatics team founded by Ken Suenaga. I swam in the 70s along with his children. The Pro City Recreation Center and pool played a big part of my growing years, and one of the fondest memories was when I joined the team. Not only was Coach Ken a very good coach, he made the team into a family. Because of that, PCA became a second family and the pool my second home. He touched so many lives for so many years. It would be with great honor to see the Pro City pool named after Ken Suenaga. He is a legendary coach in Pro City as well as statewide, and it would be commendable for our city to dedicate the pool after him. Thank you.
Okay, definitely worthy. If there are no objections, we got one more. Go ahead.
My name is Dean Otaka. I'm a former former assistant coach with Coach Ken, and believe it or not, I'm also someone who did swim in the 70s, but for a different team. But I do remember him as a coach, so I can vouch for the fact that he's been coaching for a very long time. So as someone who's swam against him, someone who's coached with him, I've seen the dedication he's put forth for what is it, like half a century, literally. And he still has a swim meet that's named after him, of which I currently officiate at swim meets regularly. And I do miss him at the meets currently, but I have coached with him. He's just many of the people who in the swimming committee know his name, not just by the invitational, but who he is, what he represents, especially the longstanding contribution to the Pro City community. So yeah, I just think he's for the people, especially for the youth sports, he's been an icon. So I totally support him being named after the Pro City pool.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, if there are no objections. We got one more? Okay. It's okay. You all came out here and waited this long,
Yeah.
more than others.
Uh, I really appreciate the opportunity, Chair, for me being able to address Ken Suinaga as my father. And he dedicated his life to this sport. He, sorry, my voice is a mess, but he dedicated his life over 50 years. He actually started the swim club at this pool over here before he moved to Pro City. And I appreciate the Thomas for sacrificing and thinking about him after he dedicated that many years towards the community. He was the only high school swim coach for Pro City High School. And he just stopped a couple of years ago. He just recently celebrated his 94th birthday. He's still alive, and it would be an honor, you know, for him to be recognized this way. So I appreciate any support that you guys can provide in the renaming of the pool. Thank you.
We'll make sure we have a good ceremony.
Make sure it's up.
Okay,
Oh, I have
Hello,
a hand
Diane.
raised.
go ahead. I see your hand raised.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dine Page, and I'm a longtime resident of Pro City, and I cannot think of a better way to honor Coach Ken than to change the Pro City District Park pool in his name. I started swimming for Coach at 9 years old and continued all the way through high school. And though my competitive swimming days were behind me, my relationship with and love for him continues to this day. Coach not only made me a better swimmer, he made me a better person. And I know he has done that for every person who has been coached by him. He has shaped and inspired generations of swimmers in Pro City and did so by his amazing commitment to the sport of swimming and his zest for life and his love for each and all of his swimmers. He wasn't just a great coach, but a great man, father, and grandfather as well. I'm so proud to have been coached and inspired by him. And when a person makes an impact like this in his community, we all win. And so I wholeheartedly support this decision to rename the Pro City pool in his name. It's so deserving. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Got one more?
Aloha, Chair and Board. My name is Nicole Toma. I did approach council member and ask for it to be renamed. I read the resolution. It's beautifully worded. And I just wanted to thank you guys for your support. I feel like this is way long overdue in recognition of a man who's given so much to so many people. He's coached generations of swimmers, and he shared that passion of swimming that he had in his heart with so many people and so many generations and kids and parents and grandparents even now. It's amazing how far he's reached. And he's always made everyone he's come into contact with feel like part of his family. I miss seeing him on deck, and I hope that this all goes through and he can be there to celebrate all that he's done. And I can guarantee that there will be so many people who come out in support of him and all that he's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no objections, I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and send this letter out on behalf of this. And I foresee a really nice ceremony coming up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and the next item on the agenda, I just want to let the board members know that I was invited to the Makakilo Neighborhood Board, who's hosting a hurricane preparedness meeting. We're bringing 7 neighborhood board chairs together from the West Side, Central Oahu, to talk about some potential ways ahead. From this first meeting, after we have it, I'm going to recommend that we establish a permitted interaction group, and then we'll pave the way ahead and document all the recommendations so the public can see what's going on. Okay, moving on our list of officials. Starting right off, we've got Mr. Gene Abano, the Director of Facility Maintenance. Thank you, Gene.
Good evening again, Gina Albano, Director of the Department of Facility Maintenance. I'm here to provide highlights from the mayor's newsletter. The city makes a major land acquisition on South Beretania for future Honolulu Police Department operations. Mayor Blangiardi announces additions to the city leadership team, including a Assistant Zoo Director at Honolulu Zoo. Demolition begins at 1615 Alawai Boulevard as the city prepares to build a new affordable housing complex on the property. A massive new solar canopy is coming up to the Alawai Golf Course parking lot, keeping cars cool and powering the clubhouse. Members of the Honolulu Youth Commission discusses a wide range of topics with the mayor during a meeting in July. So all of this is in the August 2025 edition of the mayor's newsletter. Moving to queries from last month. Member Awang requested for signage indicating that the road on Waimano Home Road near the Our Lady Good Counsel veers to the left. The DTS completed their study and will be issuing a work order to DFM. So we should be getting it very shortly, and then hopefully we can get it installed in a reasonable time. Crosswalk removal update. Member Inoue wants an update requested in September on the removal of a crosswalk on Waimano Home Road near the intersection of Nanakai Street. DTS is currently in the design phase to add a crosswalk at the corner of Honolulu Road, Koala Street, Waimano Home Road. When the new crosswalk is added, the marked crosswalk at Nanakai Street will be removed. Once the design has completed, DTS will have a better estimate for when the construction will begin. Traffic lights. Member Inoue wants to know the percentage of traffic lights that are being observed by JTMC. DTS has traffic cameras located at approximately 40% of traffic signals on the island of Oahu. Due to the pan and zoom capabilities of the traffic cameras, more than 40% of the intersections are viewable with cameras. I mentioned about resident rumors concern that will be continued with further dialogue with DTS. Member Duran wants to know if the city and county have pursued and recouped any costs for the recurring damage to the guardrail or fence in Palisades. The Department of BFS has a contractor reviewing Honolulu Police Department collision reports for recouping costs to damaged city facilities throughout the island. Most of the reports for DFM are in regard to traffic signs. Uncertain if the Palisades damaged guardrail or fence was filed with HPD and the person who damaged the guardrail or fence was identified. If the person causing the damages to the guardrail or fence has been determined, the vehicle insurer is usually contacted for payments of the damages. At the times, the court system has also identified persons damaging city facilities and contacted DFM to assess damages to seek restitution from the person arrested. These have mostly involved graffiti of city facilities. And I can say, as the director of DFM, when it comes to guardrails and the purpose of providing public safety, recoup of costs is secondary. So we probably would not take an aggressive approach to recoup that cost. VP Member Smith asked if someone can collect and dispose bags of invasive and have collected from the Palisades Community Park. DPR thanks community volunteers like yourselves to help beautify our parks. We contacted our maintenance section and they have collected and removed the bags and plants on July 31st. Moving on. Stray cats and chickens, I believe the vendor mentioned that earlier in terms of their services that can be provided to residents. Next was resident Keahi request to have slow down signs and possible rumble strips on Ma'iha Circle Road to reduce speeding. The DTS completed their investigation along Maiha Circle, which included a review of the records, a review of the area's traffic collision history, a site inspection, and a speed survey. A review of the area's traffic collision history did not reveal any trends related to speeding within the past 3 years, and their site investigation any unusual conditions. In addition, their speed survey found that the majority of the motorists are traveling near the legal speed limit of 20 miles per hour. Therefore, DTS does not recommend implementing traffic calming measures such as speed humps or rumble strips at this time. Please be advised, due ordinance that was recently passed, if there is no posted speed limit, the speed limit on the street shall be 20 miles per hour, which is the case of the circle. Additionally, the DTS does not install non-standard signs such as slow down on city streets. I believe that is it for this.
Okay, great. Extensive feedback on all our requests. Okay, board members, anything new? Okay, Heidi.
Ho'o Kie Street.
Okay.
That's it's a state street. It's got more rubbish. I know that's not your area, but you've helped me before with getting that out of there. If you can just give me the person that I need to contact, the state, I'm happy to do it.
Versus, yeah. It's easier if I get it in writing and I can follow through. Yes.
Rodney?
Yeah, hi, G. So I think these folks, Pony Street would, love to speak with you.
Okay, go ahead, Guy.
AG,
Was it?
so sorry.
No worries.
You know, I emailed you yesterday, and it's because I actually emailed Casey Abe first because I always see him doing stuff, and I thought I pressed send like a while ago. I didn't. So then yesterday he referred me to you, and I know it was so last minute, and I felt really bad. But it was in regards to coming into Palisades after the traffic light coming down the hill. There's a lot of debris that comes down from the mountain. You know, all the dead leaves and rubbish, and there's some community members and myself that go and we just scoop it up and throw it back onto the sidewalk. And it's actually really good mulch. There's a gentleman that uses it. But if there's any possibility, you can send somebody down there to investigate it, maybe get somebody DPR or so to clean it up, because there has been a lot of speed traps after Children's House, and a lot of the people in Palisades thinks, hey, if you're not going to clean the road, why are you ticketing us on that road? And also quite a bit of dead trees that are along that are above the power lines. I know it's a task to remove a tree, but cutting down the tree, if you drive up where the incident is that Charmaine talks about, where they crashed into the fence, there's actually a dead tree right above it. So while it's down, if you guys could handle that, but I understand there's probably a process and stuff.
There is a process. Unfortunately, trees fall under the Department of Parks and Recreation, under the Division of Urban Forestry, and that will be referred to that department first. And if there is a need to identify that the growth of the tree is not continuous and it presents a public safety hazard, then they will certainly remove the tree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll work on the dirt on the road though.
Dirt on the road, yeah. Again, let us know.
Yeah.
If you do want to send any concerns with regards to roads, DFM roads at Honolulu Gov is the most efficient way to get attention from our department. DFM roads at honolulu.gov.
Okay, thank you. I don't see anybody virtually has any questions. Residents? Oh, Dan, go ahead.
Yes, well, I have my usual disappointment that the city hasn't fixed the traffic lights at Waimano Home Road and Komai. I think my last proposal was a good one, and maybe we should ask Val Okimoto to see if she couldn't sponsor a bill to
She's
make
up
it happen.
next. Yep. Her office is up next, so maybe
All
she
right.
could respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing done. I know it's not your personal
Yeah, it's nothing.
problem, but the city just
I think it's best if we can get someone from DTS to participate in this meeting. It sounds many times that there are many DTS concerns, and rather than me be the go-between, I would rather just have someone in person to be able to speak directly to the board, to the residents to discuss.
I
these
think
concerns.
the pattern is it's also a safety issue. I don't know how many actual collisions there, but I've witnessed several near collisions there, and yeah, we need to make it happen. So yes, I will ask Council Member Okimoto to see what she can do.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think we're good.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your month.
Thank you for the updates.
Happy Labor Day as well.
Oh, wait, we got Vice Chair, one more. I didn't see your hand up earlier.
Oh, no, it's actually for you, Chair. Is it possible that we request DTS to come and maybe support director in discussing some of these ongoing issues next month, maybe, or the following month, whatever works for them?
Yes, we can do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to Council Member Okimoto. And I think we got Aaron standing in for her today. Is that right, Aaron?
Yes, it is. Good evening,
Ready for you.
Chair. Good evening, Chair, Board, as well as the public. Just a quick thing. You can email myself or our office any of these things that you need done, and I can make sure that I can personally follow up that things are being handled, or at least handled in a timely manner. So you're welcome to email us versus just bring them to the board as well. So August 19th through the 21st, we did have committees. Bill 49 and 50 were introduced by the council chair as well as Councilmember Okimoto. They will effectively raise the homeowner exemptions for 65 and over, as well as 64 and under, by 20,000, from 160,000 to 180,000, and 120,000 to 140,000 respectively. We did pass out the renaming of the pool and the Housing and Homeless and Parks Committee. That's now going to go to full council for a full council vote. We've asked that the overgrowth in grass and shrubs be addressed at Blaisdell Park. And on June 25th, an officer made a check at Kula Street in response to a complaint regarding multiple dogs and ongoing barking. Dogs appeared in poor health. The officers generated a cruelty to animals in the second-degree case, and they have now notified the Humane Society to conduct a separate investigation. Just one final thing, Parks will be doing improvements at Blaisdell Park as well as Palisades Community Park, including but not limited to re-roofing of the buildings, repaving of the lots there. I have also asked that they address any dilapidated ball fields. If you have any suggestions or specifics you'd like to see, please email me and we can see what's feasible through the current budget, the budgeted funds with them.
Okay, great. So those are all the improvements for Blaisdell Park. Those roofs definitely need to be replaced. And also I should be getting feedback from the Pearl City High School soon on their architectural proposed design for our dog park to go in there. I'm gonna see if I get that soonest, because that way while they're doing renovations, to be thinking about the water lines that the dog park's gonna require. But thank you, Aaron.
I thought about that. I didn't know if you were going straight through Nate with that, or it was something that we could potentially
Yep.
just talk to them about as well. But
Yeah, we're gonna give that proposal to Nate to work.
okay, great.
Okay, so any other questions go ahead, Heidi.
Do you know when the repairs for Palisades are supposed to be taking place?
I'm gonna have to get back to you. I think they are supposed to be taking place shortly. We still have a meeting with the director, and we're obviously going to go through some of the things that they're supposed to be doing. I did just receive, or I'm sorry, the council member received a letter stating that they were moving ahead with these improvements to those parks.
Okay, we've got Pearl City Little League season is going to be starting up. I believe it is around September 20th. And I believe they've got a park cleanup scheduled for the field up there in Palisades. So I was just wondering if, I think theirs is on the 13th of September.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to take that quickly to get to it. But yeah, we'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Dan? Dan. We got to move on.
Yes, and please ask the council member if she could support us on this traffic light question, perpetual traffic light question.
And that was at Waimano Home and Kolmai.
Right, right.
Okay. I'll do that in the
And
morning.
Furthermore, if the bus service could be coordinated so that the bus actually goes to the Nakasone Entertainment Center at Pearl City High School. It's a very short detour, the 532 and the 54 could go right up there, and we'd have real service for the students, and could coordinate with concerts and also with sports events. So
we've asked Roger. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We've asked Roger on several occasions to potentially, I guess, reroute certain buses. This is more or less the state's Kuleana dealing with anything DOE. That's the toughest thing we have. They say, usually they don't like to see us really get involved in that, but I can definitely ask them if that's something that they can help out with.
yeah, no, the 73 used to go all the way up. The bus is doing some good work, putting on some extra buses, but we still need the coordination of the schedules with related to when the school gets out, when the buses come and they make the connections. So
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Any other questions, Vice Chair? Okay.
Two things real quick. All of these issues that we keep discussing over and over and over have been on our legislative priorities for like 3 or 4 years, which council member, including the left-hand turn, traffic calming, all in Palisades and throughout Pearl City, which council member has already a copy of. If you don't, please go and download that, and we're happy to help you figure out which ones they should be asking for support. But we say the same things over and over, and that's why we did another reso, because the city and the state kind of punt back school issues over and over and over, one back and forth to each other. It's a little unfair to the community. That's not your responsibility, but just the way it is. But actually, I wanted to say thank you so much for your help with the pool reso. And I don't know if I missed it, but I wasn't sure if you gave us the date to the council meeting.
The next council meeting, I want to say, is August 3rd. If that's so it's going to be next Wednesday.
September.
Yes.
Thank you.
Not August. I'm sorry, September. Yes.
Okay. All right. Aaron, anything else? Oh, you got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Aaron, this is Rodney. I had a question. If councilman or councilwoman can look at the rail transit area, Pearl Highlands area. It looks like we're starting to get a real homeless problem over there. And I guess they're an autonomous agency, so I don't know who they fall under or if they're their own deal, but now we got a residential blue bus in there that is parked in there the last couple, 2-3 weeks. And then we also got a gated area, which I asked about Mr. Abe about, but that was not his property. So if you can have Councilwoman check in on that, it's getting to be a problem over there that the Hart folks need to address.
Yep. That is going to be DTS, but I'm happy to request that they do a little cleanup over there as well. If it's possible, you can get the exact place, maybe pictures if you can, but if not, don't worry about it. If I can get kind of like the exact area that you're looking for, unless it's under the station itself, then that'll be easy to identify.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Aaron? Anything for the
no, that's it.
community? Seeing none, we're going to move on. Thank you. Okay, moving on to our state officials. We've got for Governor Josh Green's office, we got Mr. Jeff Hickman for Public Affairs. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Chair, board members. Two issues that I wanted to address that were brought up last time to me. Board members Awong and Inoue brought up about fixed wing support for fire suppression. Right now, there's no plan that the state has. So whatever steps need to be taken that you'd like to take, you can take it. But there's right now no plans at this time. There was a question about the new fire marshal putting together a special team, a wildfire fighting team. The fire marshal Boots, she's still brand new in the office and she's still setting up her staff. So we don't know what that's going to look like yet. And her first priorities are based on the Maui wildfire findings. I think it's the third phase of the report. And it lists 10 different things that the fire marshal should work on. And those are going to be the first changes, first things she's going to work on. Changes made to improve Hawaii's response to wildfires for the state and all counties. So I don't know if she's going to put together a wildfire firefighting team, but the priorities, if you want to know what she's going to be working on, that's probably going to be it, is what we learned from Maui, lessons from Maui, which is always good. Speaking of wildfire preparedness, the governor signed an executive order earlier this month to keep one Hawaii Army National Guard helicopter crew activated. This shaves hours off response time. So if any county needs their help, they can fly to that county and assist. They can have the bird flying within 45 minutes instead of 2 to 3 hours after an initial ask. And this is going to last the entire time during wildfire season, which mirrors hurricane season. So 2 lovely seasons right in the same time. But the National Guard, that's who I work with full-time, the State of Hawaii Department of Defense. We assisted during the recent Kunia fire and we got to see that in play. They got there really fast and then the city and county requested a second helicopter and we were able to help out for that one. Finally, tonight, I wanted to remind you about the question I asked during the last meeting of when is tsunami season? You remember that? Maybe I shouldn't have asked that. But the answer is every day. Every day tsunami can happen at any time. We went through a watch last time. This time we went through a warning and the whole spiel. And I wanted to point everybody to a great article. It's on the front page of the Advertiser today that talks about tsunamis and how we are affected by this one, the problems, things people should know, where you can look for resources. It's an incredible article. Please check it out. It's on the front page. It gives you history of some of the vignettes that happened, tsunamis in Hawaii, how to understand the evacuation zones, the yellow and the red, where to find those zones and to find places where you can go to make a plan. So please check out that article. It's a really good article in that paper. I can take questions at this time.
Okay, board members, any questions? Okay, anything virtual? Got one hand. Who's that guy? Guy, go ahead.
Oh, hi, Jeff. It's Guy.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. That's great news that you can get the helicopters up and running. But as I mentioned before, you can't beat a C-130, not even close. Especially at you're talking about smaller type of fires, but like to me like in the Lahaina case, it's not just the Lahaina, but in a cool area like that, just one water drop on a C-130, that's it would have put it out versus several rounds of helicopter flybys. You know that, okay? Because you be in the military, you know that, okay? So anyway, we will proceed and we're gonna get a resolution going on that, just to let you know.
Roger, sir.
Okay, and then you know when they talk about Siracunia one, or said they talked about first day or two, 70% under control. I was appalled that the third day said 70% under control still. Yeah, it's like what? Did you say that a couple of days ago? So yeah, I mean maybe that one wouldn't warrant such a large aircraft water tanker to drop water on it, etc. like that. But when you're talking about 20 acres or 20 plus acres, etc., especially ag land like that, I think it would really warrant it versus that one helicopter dropping a bucket of water the size of Volkswagen. So anyway, just a comment.
Roger,
Because
sir.
I was kind of disappointed at the remarks that was put forward the last time. Just FYI, yeah. So please follow up, and then like I said, we're gonna follow up with a resolution too with Chair Berry and Co-Chair Duran. All right.
Hey, thank you, Guy. Okay, go ahead there.
Yeah. Hi, mahalo. And, just a statement, in my professional life, last week I got to visit Lahaina. I got to visit the state, Kalaiola. And can I just say that the wildfire prevention measures, the embankments, the irrigation, the extra water, and even when I visited with the, state director, just to hear that those alternative solutions to wildfire prevention are working, and we have examples of it working from state initiatives. So just huge mahalo to Governor and the team. So yeah.
I'll pass it on. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other? Okay, please come up to the microphone. Yes, you have to, because they won't hear you on the Lelo.
We don't hide around here. I just lost all my fellow neighbors.
Yeah, but you got us.
My name is Karen Yim. I actually served on the board back in the early 90s with Albert Fukushima and those other people, but it's a long time ago. But anyway, I live on the top of Pu'uponii Street, which is 2 blocks above Cam Highway. And every morning I go to Blaisdell Park, and the sound of the rail has gotten louder. Okay, from the time it was quote brand new to now, it's noticeably gotten louder. So is there like a point where it's kind of working its way towards that's what it's going to be, or is it an issue with just being on top of maintenance so that it can get back to the sound level that it was at when it was new? But I talked to different people, especially the people who live on Cam Highway and at the park. I mean, this is in the morning at between 6 and 6:30. I'm at the park in the morning walking, and you cannot not notice it. I cannot say it's really loud, but it has definitely gotten louder. So can it be kind of reviewed and checked on the maintenance, or if it should be actually sound level wise, it shouldn't be that loud? Would appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
this is a city issue. And in the early stages before the rail was going to be built, we did have our inputs, and we were real concerned about steel on steel technology. And that's what Mayor Hanneman had worked with the council for their approval, because there were suggestions for alternative, quieter systems. But I think this is something we're going to have to live with for quite a while. And it sound, I also hear it too. I haven't said anything because I don't live next to it. But we hear you. And we hear you. And of course, Aaron hears you from the city council. So other than that, if there are no questions for Mr. Hickman, thank you. We'll see you next month. Okay, moving on. Casey Abia, you got anything for us?
Yes, I do.
Welcome.
Share my screen here. Good evening, Chair Varey and members of Pro City Neighborhood Board, Casey Abia from the State DOT Highways. Last month's meeting, I mentioned we were working on addressing the concern about the merging movement onto the H2 freeway northbound from Kamehameha Highway. Our traffic branch completed their investigation and is proposing to install 2 additional merge signs as shown in this slide If the Board of Public does not have any comments on our proposed action plan, I will work with our district office on installing the additional signs. At last month's meeting, I mentioned I noticed additional potholes on the Moana Freeway eastbound going up Red Hill. Our district office had their contractor patch the potholes. At the April Neighborhood Board meeting, there was a concern about no merge signs informing motorists from the Pearl City on-ramp that they have to merge in motorists in the left lane. Our traffic branch completed their investigation and is proposing to install 4 pavement right lane drop arrows as shown in this slide. We decided not to install merge signs because it may confuse motorists using the shoulder lane during the morning rush hour traffic. If the Board of Public does not have any comments on our proposed action plan, I'll work with our district office on installing the new pavement arrows. I'd like to thank Board Member Weber for her email and pictures last Thursday, August 21st, concerning the illegal dumping along Ho'okiki Street near Pearl City High School. I did a quick field check yesterday and noticed other illegal dumping. Since DAGS and the DOE denies ownership of Ho'okiki Street, our Deputy Director for Highways, Mr. Ramesh Shishido, had directed our homeless coordinator to have their contract clean up the illegal dumping today, so the area is cleaned up. And finally, on August 12th, we received an email from Senator Elefante from constituent Cheryl Goose, who has a concern about exiting Kuleana Street onto Ka'ahumanu Street and entering Kuleana Street from Kamehameha Highway going eastbound. The slide shows that the intersection of Kuleana Street and Ka'ahumanu Street belongs to the city. So need to defer Cheryl's concern about the difficulty of making a left turn onto Ka'ahumanu Street to the city. As for making the left turn into Kuleana Street from Kamehameha Highway going eastbound, we are looking into this and I'll report back at a future meeting. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Okay, thank you, Casey, for the updates. We know, go ahead there, Rodney.
Hi, Casey. After last month's meeting, where you said the turnout by the post office could not be done because I think there was something about 2 large trucks could not make the turn with something like that. I kind of looked at it again, and in the current scenario, I mean, 2 large trucks can't even make it right now. And the way I look at it is because the radius, the turn radius is so short from the middle lane, the center lane, that there is no ways that 2 trucks could actually turn. So, you know, I think that the explanation from DTS or the state doesn't hold water. Whereas if you made the lane farther out from the 3rd lane, which I suggested the last time, the radius on that turn would have been a bit wider and a bit longer. Of course, you would have to eliminate the 2nd turning lane that goes into Home Depot. So if you guys can you relook that one? And I think it could be made, of course, not by 2 large trucks. No way in heaven it would do that, because for one, the setback on the left turn lane coming down, going on to Camp Highway, there's not enough of a setback on there. I think the left turning lane is only set back like about 10 feet. So if we was to move that to make it, but I think because of the 2 outside lanes, the 2nd and the 3rd lane be used as a turning lane, I think it could be done. It would be well worth a try. And as far as that 2 large trucks making the turn, when I made the turn the other night, there was a bus on the side of me, and he took the outer lane on that turn. He didn't take the inner lane. So if we can look at that again, I'd appreciate it, because every day I pass there coming home from Campbell, and the line is back by Seguibo's place and pass. So that line always is long every afternoon, on the weekends, and these people are just dogging one another to get in that lane.
Okay, sure. We'll take another look at it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, Dan? No? No. Oh. Vice Chair, go ahead.
Thank you for your report. I just have two things. What was the status, and I may have asked this before, but I can't seem to find out, what was the status of the U-turn request on Kamehameha Avenue?
U-turn request.
From last year, there were so many discussions about it, and then I kind of remember saying that something about your department said you guys were going to look more at it near the Hawaiian Electric.
Oh, the Hawaiian Electric has been installed. You can make a U-turn now.
Okay, and I just wanted to confirm. The other question I had was, could you repeat the ownership thing one more time? The state denies ownership of, you mentioned it, of,
Kia.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly.
The ownership of what? Can you clarify that?
In your report, you said the state denies ownership. Is that what you said?
Oh, no, in my tonight's report?
Yes.
The ownership, they're talking about the Okiki Street.
Yes.
Apparently when Pearl City High School was built, DAGS worked with the DOE to build the high school.
Right.
But apparently what happened was DAGS did not officially turn over the road to the city.
Okay.
So now the problem is all these years, because the DOE and DAGS wanted to turn it over, the city will not accept it because it's not to current city standards.
Correct.
So the DOE and DAGS would have to develop a project and upgrade the road to city standards before the city would accept the road.
Right. So the owner of the road is
It's the state,
Got it.
but it's the DOE and the DAGS is saying they're not going to do anything with this
But
illegal
it's the
trash.
state, right?
But it's a state. So
Okay.
what happened is our state highways, we stepped in to assist to clean up the illegal dumping.
Right, because it's the states.
But it's still the
Okay,
state.
I just want to
It's
make
just
sure,
about which
because I
department.
remember discussing this many times,
Yeah.
but okay.
It's-
So I just want to make sure it's clear that it's the state's
It's the
road
state.
right now.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
it's-
Boy, Vice Chair, you really brought up an animal. That problem has been going on for over 20 years, and Representative Takayama knows all about it. Eventually, someday we'll get it fixed. And I can't believe that road does not fit city standards when it is so wide and everybody races on it every night. I see nothing wrong with that road. But anyway, anything else for Casey? We got to move along. It's 9:20. I'm way behind. Any other questions? Seeing none. All right. Thank you, Casey. We're going to move on. Anything from Senator Glenn Wakai? Any representative? Hearing none. Okay, moving on to Senator Brendan Elefante. Thank you, sir, for waiting so long.
Oh,
And I apologize
no
for our
problem.
meeting
Great
tonight.
evening, everyone. I'm Brandon Elefante from the State Senate. First of all, congratulations to the new board members. At the end of my report, Chair, if it's okay with you, I have a few certificates for some of the new board members to present. I'm sorry I missed you last month. However, I did email you, Chair and Vice Chair, and Mr. Wu regarding my intern, Anela Chu, was in attendance at the last meeting. So if you could reflect that in the minutes.
I'll reflect that in the minutes, and my apology.
No problem. Thank you. I have a couple of announcements. So the first one is, back this past summer, we mailed out our end of session newsletter, which was sent over to 23,000 households. And out of that, we received about 24 responses, and the survey was open for, yes, it was very accessible, but that was the response and feedback. And thanks to those on the board and the community who responded. We had it available for 3 months through QR code, through our newsletter, through on our website. And also, if those that didn't have accessibility to it, we would also email them a paper copy. So I just want to share the results so that the community is aware of what the survey results are. So the top district concerns, number 1 is homelessness. 2 is transportation speeding issues. 2 is public safety and law enforcement, so crime in the community. And then a tie for third is transportation, speeding issues, and insurance costs. And then there's also some other ideas on mental health rehabilitation, senior citizen service and programs. And then folks also had the opportunity to write comments on future legislation. So thank you again to the community who participated and for your feedback. It's very valuable for myself and our office as we go into the next legislative session to focus our priorities. In addition to the board, I know you deferred legislative priorities to your next meeting. So we'll take a look at that and see what we can come up with from our legislative package. And then a couple of follow-ups that I heard tonight. First with Board Member Weber. So I heard Mr. Abe talking about whole KK Street. As many of you know, Rep. Takayama and I have been working diligently on that. The issue dates back to Governor Ige when he was in the House and when he was in the Senate. So we're hoping we can find a resolution in the point where the city would be able to accept the use of that roadway. But it's still in a limbo situation. The state does still own it. So thank you, Mr. Abe, for clarifying that to Vice Chair Duran. There were a couple of members that here came tonight from the community regarding Miss Yim talked about Hart. So I talked to her on the side and we'll follow up with Hart to see how we can get a response. And some of the community members asked about some street issues on city issues. So we'll make sure we follow up and work with the appropriate entities for that. I think at this time, if it's okay with you, and then I can take questions at the end. If I can just call up Board Member Dupio II, Board Member Yamato, and Board Member Taylor. Yeah,
do that.
welcome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Board Member. Thank you. I look like thank you for. Oh, picture.
Wherever you
Thank you. Thank you, Brad. And with that, that concludes my report. Thank you for allowing me to do that. And again, sorry for missing you next. And also online is Miss Jan Salcido, my office manager, if those that have questions online. With that, that concludes my report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any questions for our senator? All right. Thank you for the recognition for the board members. And again, the laundry list for the legislative priorities. I think it's fantastic that we can give you something like that and you pick and choose what is the art of the possible of getting it through the legislature. You guys got a great batting record. So, okay, no, any other questions? Seeing none? Okay, one question. Go ahead, there.
Please start moving in the direction of meeting throughout the year.
Haven't heard anything like that. Every year, as you know, Board Member Smith, a proposal comes up. Some like it, some don't. So we'll see what happens.
Monday.
Okay, if I don't see any other questions, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Senator Henry Aquino.
Aloha Chair, Vice Chair Viray, board members. Nathaniel Isse representing Senator Keenan this evening. Board members, you have my report. And with that being said, I stand by my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Give our regards to the senator.
Short and sweet.
Okay, moving on to Representative Greg Takayama, and welcome. And thank you for waiting so long.
Of course, welcome. And I actually don't have anything to report, but I am looking forward to your legislative priorities, looking forward to following up on that. One thing I might note is that IEMA has installed a new siren near Palisades Elementary School, and it's supposed to be online in time for next week's siren testing. So those of you who live in Palisades, let us know if it's working. It should be.
Yeah, thank you very much. Board members, any questions?
Is it a new siren or is it the
It's a-
original siren?
The old siren is, they didn't do anything to it. The location of the new siren is on the same street, but it's
Tennis court.
Mackay of the school. Yeah,
Okay.
closer to below the tennis courts. Okay.
Thank you.
Is it a tall one?
Oh, yeah, no, it's tall. Yeah. It's
So if, with the fire hazard thing, could there a camera be mounted on there to look at all the surroundings to see.
But where it is, it's not a wooded area like the old siren was. The new siren is, like I said, actually on, what street is that? Auguhu. And, below, so it's sort of an empty space, but, anyway, first things first, make sure the siren works. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, anything virtual? Yep, Guy, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, as a House Representative Takayama said that the siren is up and run. Well, I don't know running, but it is up and it is right next to the tennis courts across the street from the Honganji. So you can't miss it. It's really, really tall.
Loud enough to wake you up now? It's the first, right? Okay.
We'll see next week.
Okay. Okay. Seeing no other questions. Thank you, Representative Takayama. All right. Representative Corey Chung, how you doing?
Hey, good evening, Chair. So I'm going to stand on my report, but I actually didn't give it out. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
but anyway, in my report, it just touches on some of the things I'm doing as agriculture chair. You know, it's a heavy subject and it's a statewide importance. So I would just like to share one thing, actually a positive note. So the 2025-2026 Teacher of the Year for the Pearl City Waipahu Complex is Jody Katayama, who is from Manana Elementary. She's a curriculum coordinator. So I just wanted to give her a shout out and congratulate her for this momentous honor and glad it's Pearl City teacher.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And with that, I'll take any questions.
Okay, board members, any questions? Seeing none, but I do. I'm sure we all thought about you the other day when the elderly gentleman was lost, and we're all anxiously waiting for the silver alert system to be turned on. I just can't believe it's taken so long after all the legislation you put through, and this is such an important thing.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw the news report from KHON2 about that, but basically what the interviewers said from the Department of Law Enforcement was exactly correct, is that the program was designed to work with the state and the county police chiefs and offices, because really those are the ones that give the referrals to put out the alerts. And so because there's been you know, so many different kind of uncertainty with new chiefs in a lot of the counties, even our own county, that's kind of delayed the whole implementation, and it's kind of been put on the back burner. So that's really the biggest issue right now.
Okay, well, thank you. Rodney, go ahead.
I'm looking over here and I see, you know, agriculture and food systems chair.
Yeah.
So, a couple weeks ago, I was watching Insights, and I guess the DOE is starting up some cooking kitchens to supply foods or farm to table that they're going to get into or they're already into. So I found that very interesting. And there's one going to be put up at Whitmore Village. So I was wondering if it was that, you know, that would be something that Pearl City would be interested in doing. So somewhere along that line, that'd be pretty neat. Because Hayashi started his with Waipahu High School. So, you know, to me, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
We
so
get
that's where
those going.
we're moving, is to centralized kitchens. And, you know, from what we've kind of learned in the last couple of years is Pearl City High School has been actually providing meals for a lot of the area schools, just because finding kitchen staff and keeping kitchens up to date and stocked is, you know, a challenge. So moving to the centralized kitchens just makes sense, right?
Yeah, and I like the involvement with the local farmers. So, you know, I would hope that the state would give, you know, more incentives to the local farmers, you know, to make it more lucrative for them to start growing crops. And there was also talk about, you know, cattle and beef and pork and whatnot. But, you know, with the loss of slaughterhouses around the state, you know, it's kind of impossible, because my friend actually flies cattle from the Big Island to the mainland to be slaughtered and dressed. So, you know, it's something I think we need to get back, and I think you mentioned one time the self-sustainability of this state. Because if the big one comes over here, we're dead meat. And the chickens that we was talking about tonight, that's dinner. You know what I mean? And all the pigs that are ruining all the gardens up in Mililani, that's dinner also. So I think we got to get back to self-sustainability. So if you guys come next year, farmers want something, give them some love.
Hey, Rodney, thank you. Okay, Representative Chun, I don't see any other hands up. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
All three of you. Thank you. Okay, moving on, Representative Trish LaChica. Any representative on? Okay, boy, we heard you.
Aloha, Trevor, members of the board and neighbors. My name is Tosa Lobandan, and I'm here tonight on behalf of Representative LaChica, who unfortunately couldn't join us because she is participating in the 50 Can Education Conference in Washington, D.C. However, she sends her warmest alohas and apologies for missing this meeting. I did drop some links in the chat. One is to her August-September newsletter, and the other one is to her Bitly for her survey, legislative survey, which is a part of the newsletter. So just as Senator Elefante mentioned, our District 37 survey will be used to help guide our work for the upcoming 2026 legislative session. And we'll be taking your community concerns and turning them into possible legislation, because every voice truly matters. We highly encourage that. If you live in the district, we ask that you please take a few minutes to complete it, either online or through the paper version, arriving in mailboxes now through early September. We also have an exciting update. In July, we brought the idea of the agrivoltaic tour to this board's attention, and now we've scheduled it for the community. The tour will be at the Hawaii Agrivoltaic Research Site at Clearways Mililani Solar Farm, where crops and solar panels grow side by side. This innovative project is helping Hawaii lead the way in clean energy and sustainable agriculture. The tour will be on October 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Space is limited to just 20 participants, so if you would like to join, please call our office at 808-586-6150 to reserve your spot. I'm also happy to take back any questions or concerns. Our office is always open to hear. Mahalo, Chair.
All right, Tosa, thank you very much. We heard you loud and clear. Okay, can you repeat the number?
Yes, our phone number is 808-586-6150, and I'll also drop it in the chat along with my email.
Okay, great. Any questions for Tosa? All right, seeing none. Thank you very much. Give our regards to the representative. Okay, moving on. Mr. Nestor Garcia, how are you, my friend?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Nestor Garcia for Congressman Ed Case. Hey, I dropped into the chat the press release that we issued today. Congressman is looking for applicants who might be interested in a congressional nomination to any one of the 4 service academies, West Point, Annapolis for the Navy, Air Force Academy in Colorado, and the Merchant Marine Academy up there in Nassau Point in New York. The deadline for applications should be postmarked no later than October 10th. And guess who is actually coordinating all of the applications? So if you have any questions, call me at the office, 808-650-6688, or go to the Congressman's website, case.house.gov, and you can find out more detailed information on how one can apply for any one of the 4 service academies. Okay, so tsunami scare on July 29th. That we had to cancel our Teletown Talk story where the congressman reaches out to constituents in his congressional district. So we have rescheduled it. October 2nd. This is a Thursday, 6 o'clock Hawaii time. Hour and a half. You get to listen to the congressman, and he gets to listen to you, his constituents, on the concerns and issues that you have in mind. So October 2nd, mark that on your date. There'll be more information coming and more publicity for that event. I want to get to a Guy Noy's question that he had for me in the last time I appeared before this board. And board member, I think you got a response from Washington, D.C. regarding your continuing concern about whether or not we can get an aviation asset to deal with wildland fires. I know that, I think I saw that letter. I pretty much deferred to Jeff Hickman and the state. And I saw Jeff's response to you. But I wanna be sure that we stay on top of this too. Yeah, you have a good point that you raised, board member. And we tried in several other ways to see if we can deal with wildland fires, given what happened with Lahaina. But as you can see, board member, in his response to you, his efforts didn't go very far with the majority in Congress. But anyway, we will continue to see what we can do to help, because this is top of my concern now, on top of the hurricane season that we're still in the midst of, and what happened with that tsunami scare that we were able to get out from under. And just one last point, Chair and members. Yeah, we have 28 days to figure out whether or not we're going to have a federal budget that starts October 1st. Doesn't look like the work is going very far with all 12 of those appropriations measures. So we'll see what happens in the end of the month, end of September. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, open to any questions you might have.
Thank you, Nestor. Board members, any questions for Nestor? Okay, seeing none virtually, but I do want to piggyback off what board member Inouye had talked about. I think there is a federal and state partnership that could be developed for this C-130, because it'd be the state to acquire it. But on the other hand, how do you do the upkeep? The upkeep is almost free because you have the C-130s at Barbers Point with the maintenance facility already there. So I could see an MOA being developed between the federal side and the state, and that could really cut the cost. It's just a smart thing to do. And it is, as Guy said, it is vital. You can't put out these big fires with bucket to bucket. It's got to be a sweeps. So anyway, thank you. Please give our regards to the congressman. Who else got their hand up?
If I make a
Guy,
quick
go ahead.
suggestion to a chairman, if I can make a quick suggestion, since you are going to meet with the Makakilo Neighborhood Board and all other boards that are interested in the issue of hurricanes, at one point, you and the other boards that are getting together with respect to that, dealing with that that disaster, might also want to take a look at how they deal with wildfires as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be really emergency preparedness. Hurricanes is the first topic of discussion.
Okay.
Guy, go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Nestor, for your letter, as well as referring back to Jeff Hickman, etc., like that. I guess my concern is that when they said that it doesn't warrant a water drop, etc., like that. Well, in the Kunia area, you got to figure 20 acres was devastated, right? Have you any idea how many square feet is 20 acres? It's 871,000 square feet is 20 acres. So you're telling me that a helicopter is going to put out a fire for 871,000 square feet? And then after the first day, they said 70% contained. And then going on the third day, they said 70% contained. It's like, wait, if this was in your backyard, I think you'd be kind of concerned, especially we were very fortunate that we didn't have, that high winds. And the other day when I was golfing, we saw a fire in Kunia again. And so they said that, I think that was at that time was the 7th one that had ignited. And when I saw the other one, several days ago, that's going to have to be the 8th or 9th one. And that didn't hit the news, I guess. So, they just didn't report it like that. And at that point, you got to figure, if you're going on to the 8th and 9th parcel, etc., like that, it's more than 20 acres already. And then, they were saying about, their feeling for the farmers up there like that. They're having, getting a beating, so to say. And then I saw the water drops, etc., like that. And, truth be said, it's pretty pathetic, yeah. How can you not think otherwise, seriously, if you look at the water drop?
Yeah, you're talking to the choir. If you recall the brush fires that occurred on the Waianae Coast recently, my brother had to evacuate his house. So I take this personally as well.
Okay, great.
And the wildfires in Waikoloa, which would have been as close to a disaster as Lahaina. That was very close to becoming a very major disaster. So yeah, I'm watching this statewide, not just on this island.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll continue to keep this top of mind with the DC staff, and not just with us, but the rest of the congressional delegation.
Right, especially in a consideration, right, when they have this back and forth between the military and the state in terms of Pohakuloa, right, and then looking at potentially condemning the land, and then what did they have? Let's see, about a month or two ago, they had a wildfire up there, and you talk about remoteness, etc., and getting aircraft there on a timely basis like that. A helicopter is way slower than a C-130. Anyway,
I'm quite aware of the capabilities of the C-130.
Okay, gentlemen,
Good.
thank you
Okay.
very much. We got to move on 15
Thank
minutes
you.
and I lose Lello and I lose my neighborhood assistant. So moving on, Joint Base Pearl Harbor. Thank you, Nestor. Chris
Hey, Chair.
Tanahara.
Hey, Chair.
Chris, can you hear me?
Good morning. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you clear.
Can you hear me? Okay, very good. Good evening, Chair Veray, members of the board. I will keep my report short. Just wanted to touch on some highlights. I did put in the chat a couple of links to the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum and Battleship Missouri Memorial. Both of those organizations are hosting events over the weekend, beginning Saturday, to commemorate the 88th anniversary of the end of World War II. So all the events are free, but you do have to register ahead of time to attend those events. And so that's why I put the links in the chat. So take a look. Again, if you are interested in attending events on Ford Island, please take a look. Events are free, but you must register ahead of time. Secondly, we do have a new commander, Rear Admiral Stephen Barnett. He relinquished command to Admiral Brad Collins. So Admiral Collins is the new commander of Navy Region Hawaii. Let's see. We will be resuming our monthly ship tours beginning in September. We don't have any dates yet, but these are the Saturday ship tours that start at 9 o'clock. And it's a great way to kind of take an up close look at some of the ships that we've got in port. Also, Community White Boat Tour. Our next tour is scheduled for October 3rd. And the focus will be on stewardship and heritage. And so I'll send more information about that as we get closer to October. And then lastly, before I turn it over to Joanna Delphin, board member Inoue asked last month's meeting about the oysters in Pearl Harbor. So I reached out to our team and I was told that in 2019, there was a pilot study. It was a 6-month project to test oyster survivorship and growth and growth rate in Pearl Harbor. And so what the team found was that there was a 71% survival rate during the 6-month pilot period of the oysters. And so the pilot study indicated that oysters can survive in Pearl Harbor with active maintenance. And the team is looking at a future project for the oysters, but no updates on that at the moment. And pending your questions, I will turn it over to Joanna Delphin from Navy Closure Task Force, Red Hill.
Okay, thank you, Chris. John, what you got?
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, board members and community as well. Just a couple of announcements for Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill. We had our open house last week, was attended by the public, so thanks to everyone who attended and supported that. The teams right now in the Hill are working to clean the pipes to prepare them for cutting and removal later this year. In the chat, I also posted the latest edition of our Red Hill highlights, kind of giving the community an update on the latest and greatest operations that we have going on at the task force. In September, we have an upcoming informational webinar. More info will be put out later with regard to the the time and the topic. If you don't already, please do download the Navy Closure Task Force mobile app on your phone and visit our website for all of our upcoming events. Any questions I'm able to take from the group? That's all I have.
Okay, thank you for the update. Board members, any questions? Okay, hearing and seeing none, none virtually. All right, Chris, Joanna, thank you so much. And again, Chris, thanks for the coordination for ship tours. And I'm sure we're going to get some takers there in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Chancellor Carlos Penaloza. Welcome, Chancellor.
Aloha, Chair, members of the Pearl City community. I have just a very brief update since we're running out of time. The semester just started yesterday. We're just under 6,400 students, really vibrant community right now at Leeward. The campus really feels very vibrant. I do want to share that we finalized our fascia replacement project. If you haven't been to campus recently, it looks beautiful. I encourage you to come and pay us a visit. If you made it to the Made in Hawaii convention, I hope you passed by the D-Bed Pavilion. We had 15 of our Aina Tumakeke entrepreneurs at Made in Hawaii, and another 12 that outgrew the effort that we've been pushing forward. And so we're really showcasing quite a bit of presence in Hawaii-made products, especially in the food innovation space. I do want to invite members of the community on Saturday, August 30th. We're having an exhibition opening at our Ho'ikeakea Art Gallery. The exhibit's name is My Monumental Summer. We had artists actually paint pieces for the art gallery throughout the summer, and it's opening on the 30th. That opening is going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. Pupu's refreshments and entertainment, and so really worthwhile coming. I do want to mention a couple of other things that are really critical. On Saturday, September the 13th, Leeward is hosting the Megabon. So expect some congestion. Everyone, of course, is encouraged to use rail for the Megabon. Leeward is going to have a strong presence there between our entrepreneurs on the food innovation side, as well as our culinary arts students and faculty will be showcasing a lot of what we do. And then finally, the week of September 22nd, we are hosting the Accreditation Commission for Junior and Community Colleges. We are in our accreditation cycle. This is probably one of the more critical compliance and evaluation cycles that we go through. We expect to do quite well, but I just wanted to share that every now and then they ask to meet with some of our constituents, and I may send out invitations. I'm waiting for their final agenda. And so with that, I will say too that the semester started, and so as of September 5th, the Pearl is open. And so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you for the quick update, Chancellor. Any questions for? Okay, go ahead.
Just a comment. Aloha, Chancellor. This is Michael Taylor. I joined you yesterday on a tour, so mahalo for that. So just wanted to comment for the board. LCC has done a really amazing job with the Wahiawa Value Added Product Development Center, and as Chancellor mentioned, with the Made in Hawaii. So supporting local entrepreneurs, supporting local farmers, supporting community, and as Chancellor mentioned in my tour yesterday, going into K-12. So really excited to see K-12 outreach, especially here in Pearl City. So mahalo, Chancellor.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, seeing none. Thank you, Chancellor, and hope you get a lot of people there for the Megabon. Okay, moving on. We got 7 minutes left. Vicky Bowie, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'm going to mention that we'll be closed on Sunday and Monday in observance of Labor Day. And I know everyone's wondering about our renovation. The only update I can give you is that we're still waiting on the permit approval, and they're still trying to scout out a location for our pop-up location. And September is library card sign-up month, so I encourage everyone to come down to the library to get a library card if you don't have one already. We will be giving out a free an item. It's a logo branded like tote bag or drawstring bag for everyone who signs up for a card in September. If you're interested in any of our programs, you can check out our website, www.librarieshawaii.org, or come to the library to get a September calendar. And that's my report.
All right, Vicky, thank you so much. And hopefully you'll be able to find out that pop-up site for the alternate location library. Dan, make it quick.
Brief thank you, mahalo, for the 3D printing class and the ability to do 3D printing there. Thank you.
All right, any
You're
other
welcome.
questions? Okay, seeing none virtual. Thank you, Vicky. We'll see you next month. Okay, moving on to Arlen. Arlen, you got 6 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, board members and Pearl City community. There were 6 8-inch water main breaks last month in Pearl City. I won't go through them all in the interest of time, but 3 of them were in Kavealoka Street. The general water announcement for this month is the Imagine a Day Without Water event. Bring the entire ohana for this year's annual Imagine a Day Without Water. It's a free family-friendly event on Saturday, September 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Windward Mall's Center Court. During the event, you can learn about the One Water concept and why water is essential to every part of life. There'll be interactive displays from over 20 city, state, and community organizations, hands-on activities, and giveaways, including a 45-gallon rain barrel, and much more. Find out more, you can check out our website, borderwatersupply.com/OneWaterHawaii.
Okay, thank you, Arlen. Appreciate the quick update. And we definitely appreciate Board of Water Supply's quick responses to all these in Pearl City. Any other questions? Seeing none from the board, thank you. Moving on, Tony, updates, community. You got
Yeah,
5
only
minutes.
update I have is the Mark Takai Day, September 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Momilani Recreation Center. That's it, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Okay, last item on the agenda is our approval of our minutes. We heard Senator Elefante with asking us to make a change or update to the minutes for his intern that was present for the meeting. And also Dan Smith provided just more accurate detail what he said at the last meeting in regard to the traffic signal lights on Waimana Home Road and Komamai. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes with amendments? Okay, Dan? Guy?
Second.
Okay. Well, I got both guys. Okay, if there are no objections, the minutes will be stand approved. Other than that, next board meeting will be on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. And of course, our board meetings are held on Focus Channel 49 and air on the second Saturday at 6 p.m. and one on the first and the third Friday at 1 p.m. Other than that, board members, thank you so much. A lot of discussion tonight. It's the longest board meeting we have ever had, I got to say, in 4 years, because we've never gone to 3 hours. But keep in mind, under the neighborhood plan, right now, the board meetings are recorded. They're supported by the neighborhood assistant for 3 hours. After that 3 hours, we lose it. The secretary starts taking the notes. So you all take care. Thank you so much. And this meeting is adjourned.